What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. I hope everyone has been enjoying their weekend. And your boy is back with a couple of guests, and we are going to talk about Cuba, all things Havana. First and foremost, let me bring up my guests. My man, Black Man's Travels in the building. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. Definitely a friend to the channel, friend of mine. So, like his channel, make sure that you guys subscribe to his content. Has excellent content.
Thank you.
Another brother, man, who second time being on the channel too. My man, Solo ORD. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What up? What's going on with you, man?
Man, chilling, man. I wish the weekend was longer, but it's all good, man.
Feel you.
Absolutely, man. Another brother who was out there with us, man. And this is also his second time being on my channel. My man, Vlog Tripping. What's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Just checking in.
Man, definitely appreciate you being here, man. Definitely appreciate you being here. And first time on my channel, first time meeting this brother, man. Definitely a good brother. So you guys make sure that you check out his channel. My brother AD Fearless, man. What's going on? Oh, whoops! I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
I did that. Party foul on me, man. AD Fearless, what's up, brother?
What's
First
up,
time
man?
on the channel, man.
You still see I'm in my Cuba atmosphere. I feel like I'm back in Cuba right now.
Absolutely, man. I definitely appreciate all of you brothers being here. We had a great time on our trip. And so before we get started, man, let's go, man. Let's get it popping, man. Give you guys a taste of what we experienced.
I'm sorry, man. This thing.
You all good, man?
I just pulled it up because you took it off, so I was trying to get it back. Good. Boom. My bad. I think now
you good. You good?
Now I don't see it no more. Perfect. Whatever. We'll work it out. You want me to start it now or go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I gotta pull it back in. All right. Pardon me. There we go. Travels. All right. I got to shout out. There you go. Remove. All right. Cool. Sorry about the technical difficulties, fellas.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Again, man, I just want to thank you all for being here. We definitely had a great experience on our trip. And so, before we kind of get into the topic, AD, I'll actually go with you first. So, first time being on the channel. So, why don't you give people a quick introduction into who you are, if you don't mind, as far as you being a content creator, brother?
No problem, brother. AD Fearless. I have a podcast. How I got started was I was always vacationing, always taking videos and pictures, but never posted them anywhere. And really, the person that got me into it, my financial advisor, she said, "You're spending this money, but it's not working for you. You need to do content, do something so you can make it." So I was on Facebook. I seen a lot of travel channels and thought, "Oh, that's something interesting I want to do." And got with a great group of people who led the way.
Perfect, man. Perfect, man. Definitely appreciate you being here, brother. Vlog Tripping, man. Why don't you give people a brief introduction into who you are? I know you was there the first time before we actually went out there, but why don't you give people a brief introduction into who you are, brother?
I go by Trini. I really just started this whole YouTube thing maybe a couple months ago. Actually talking to Black Man Travels and other YouTubers that I met in Thailand kind of convinced me that I should kind of document my journey. So I don't know what the channel is going to be right now, but I see it's going to evolve into something. This is not the final form, but just the beginning.
Absolutely, man. And when did you start your channel, if you don't mind me asking?
I think in March. March is when I really started taking a little bit more serious, and I started recording video and trying to come up with content. I have at least like 100 videos up combined with the shorts. So we're getting to find my way. We're getting to find my niche, and get my YouTube legs, as I would say.
Yeah, man. Man, that's really impressive. You started in March, already hit 1,000 subscribers and over 100 videos. Man, full force, brother. Solo ORD, man. Just give a quick 30-second elevator speech, man.
Take myself off of mute, my fault.
You good?
Well, of course, it's your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD, in the building. So, hey, of course, for me, for those of you that don't know, I've been traveling since the age of 6, been doing this thing for a long time. Basically started doing solo traveling at the age of around 25-ish, 30 for work. And of course, that actually transitioned into me doing my own solo traveling into for personal life, for traveling seeing different countries and so forth. However, of course, what got me into YouTube as far as providing content is the fact that since I was traveling so much, people was asking a lot of questions about certain places I was going to and so forth. So I felt that it was a whole lot better for me to document it on a platform so that people will get it could reach a broader audience instead of me just keep typing out the same thing every single day to different people. So,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And I see you cracked over 12K, man. You doing your thing, dude.
Yeah, getting close to 13.
Oh man, yeah, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna be at 20 very soon, man. And last but not least, man, Black Man's Travels, man. The 30-second elevator speech, brother.
Oh wow, man. Yeah. Black Man Travels, aka Canal. I'm a travel blogger, content creator. So I do have a website called blackmantravels.com. Focus on 4 pillars: travel, digital nomad, health, and relationship. Just basically want to just pass the torch to the next generation of brothers out there to travel and explore and see the world. For whatever your reasons to travel, just go out and travel. Get that passport.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man. So first question, I'm gonna keep you right there. So I know that this is your second time going to Cuba, but what initially made you want to go to Cuba?
Initially, I guess when Obama actually lifted the embargo, I was living in Miami at the time, and I was like, I've been all over the Caribbean. Why not? And I saw a ticket for like $150 for Miami. So at the time it was 2017. I said, you know what? Hey, let me go check it out. And I went and I checked it out and had a great time. And I always said I wanted to come back, but I wanted to have a reason to come back. Then once that opportunity came up, I was like, you know what? Hey, this is a good time to go back after 5-6 years later. So It was a great experience, but the first time was an amazing experience because the embargo was lifted and a lot of Cubans were not used to seeing Americans. So I was like one of the first group of Americans to go there and experience Cuba, very authentically before the big tourist invasion.
Okay. That's good to know, man. That's good to know. So I'm gonna bounce around here. So I'm gonna go with you, AD Fearless. So what made you decide to go to Cuba?
I had 2 friends. One, I guess, his family actually got kicked out of Cuba when Fidel Castro came, and he had one perception. Then I met another friend, and they had an entirely different perception of Cuba. And they said, you need to go. So I wanted to go myself to see it myself. I didn't want to hear from secondhand nature, and thought the opportune time was when I talked to Canal, and he said he was going to Cuba. And I said, hey, can I tag along? Somewhere where I wanted to go, and it would be great to go with a group of people so I could get a better experience with someone who had already gone.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I definitely appreciate that. Let's go with you, because Solo, I know that you have been out there as well before. So what initially made you decide to go to Cuba?
Correct. So what really originally got me to want to go to Cuba was to go visit my family, meet people that was down there. That's the first thing, because I'm starting the whole journey of trying to meet family that I have in different countries. Cuba was the first one that I actually went to meet family members, because I actually have family in Havana and also in some related people in Santiago. However, I also do have some people, family members in Veracruz in Mexico. So it's like I'm still trying to take these journeys of going to different countries and just visit them and so forth. So that was my first time. And also it was like, why not? I might as well just go out there, go check it out, because that's where my father's from. So I really wanted to see, what the place looked like. Because of course, I love to explore, I love to move around, see different countries. And it was nice to just add another country to my list of places that I've been to. That was the reason why I chose to go to Cuba.
Right. All right, man. Absolutely, man.
Also, I do have a picture here. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no, go ahead, man.
But when I first met my family, so we're the entire screen here. So basically, this is basically I went out there, met them. This was like our first time meeting up and so forth, and it was a good time. This was back in I believe 2017 or 2018, somewhere back then. But it was good meeting with them and so forth. And of course, when you meet your family in a different country, a lot of times they kind of don't understand how things are with us being American and so forth. How we are usually limited on time, how we want to move around and do things and so forth. And when I first met them, they were trying to keep me there for like 2-3 days, trying to. I was like, I gotta move. I can't be here for 2-3 days. I can't kick it over here like that. But but that's just how it is. How in Cuba is very slow. People are very more relaxed. It's like back in the 1950s, 60s, where you just sit around and just enjoy life, and just talk with other people and so forth. So it's all about socializing with people.
No, that's true. Yeah. So kind of more like the like the hustle and bustle. Like they're more relaxed, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha. Understood, man. And then and then Trini, what about you? What made you decide to go to Cuba? Oh, you're on mute, brother. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Mic check. All right, cool. So it don't take much to convince me to travel. So I think me and Kanal was spitballing one day because we had actually had a good experience in Thailand. And I think it was he's like, let's go somewhere. And I was like, yo, I think he brought up Cuba. It was actually his idea. So Black Man Travels brought up Cuba, and I think it was like a week later we just booked tickets and go. So it doesn't take much to me to travel anywhere outside the US. Cuba is I would say financially responsible for most people, economically, inexpensive. So why not?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, that's cool. One of the things that drove me to go was the fact that I hadn't been anywhere in a while, and I coach my son's football team indoor and outdoor, so that takes a lot of my time. And so with football season getting ready to start, I figured, okay, where is a place that I could go that I haven't been, where I could go, maybe 5 or 6 days or what have you. And so I had mentioned Cuba. And then speaking with Black Man's Travels and Solo ORD in a different group chat, both of them had been there before, and so to find out that both of them were going to be around at the same time, it all just made sense. So that's why I decided to to make the trip and go. So my next question, Trini, I'm actually going to start with you on this one. Did you know that you needed a visa to enter Cuba?
Yeah. I had to, you always try to do your due diligence and your research before entering any country. I've had the unfortunate hard lesson learned this from trying to go to Vietnam, thinking my American passport was the ish, and totally got checked at the counter, thinking I could just go to any country anytime I feel like it. So from that situation, I've always done extensive research on the visa process. My visa process was very simple. At the gate, $100. I flew American, and that was it.
Yep. Yeah. I knew that you had to get a visa, but what I didn't know, and it should have registered to me, but I didn't know that you had to use a card to get it, not cash. So even though like as United States citizens, if you have a U.S. passport, when you go to Cuba, you can only use cash. But when you get in the visa, you got to use debit or credit card.
Yep. Did you fly American?
Yes, I flew American. Yeah.
Yeah, they're big on that. I'm not sure how it is for JetBlue or all the other ones. I know that American, they're big on. They want you to pay with card no matter what.
Oh, so wait, so different airlines you could pay with cash?
I'm not sure. Maybe
Oh,
those
okay.
of you that might know, but I know for a fact American that is, and plus American has the highest. They charge the highest rate for the Visa, which is $100. If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, JetBlue.
I found that out last minute, but that's gonna be on another video. But
Yeah,
yeah,
actually,
I found that out last minute.
JetBlue only charges $50, and you pay at the counter. So if you buy your ticket through JetBlue, just arrive 30 minutes a little extra, so you could check in, because you got to check in through the Cuba reps, and you pay your $50 for your visa, and that's it. You're done.
Okay. Now, do you have to pay card or cash?
I carry card. I mean, I
okay.
carry cash, but personally, when I travel, I try to not use cash, because the cash is my goal is to use cash overseas. So as long as I'm in the States, I'm gonna use my card.
Got it. Understood. So yeah, so I didn't know that different airlines had different prices, because I thought, like when I looked online, it said it was $85, and then when I got to the gate, it was $100. So JetBlue is $50. I wonder what other airlines. I wonder how much Delta is. But that's
Delta is 100.
Oh, so Delta and
American is 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
So JetBlue is the only one that's $50. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why, because JetBlue was grandfathered in, and JetBlue was the first airline to actually cater to Cubans. So I guess, they were the first one to start flying commercially to Cuba. I guess they were just grandfathered in, and of course Delta and America came in afterwards. Because at one point you can only fly with through JetBlue.
Oh, okay. That's good to know, man. It's good to know.
Guys, like normally before you travel, make sure, again, it doesn't take much to sit down and do your thorough research and understand the country that you're going to. Like, understand what the visa process is, what is the cost. You need to do that before anything. And I know that Trini and I, before we bought anything, we confirmed, okay, is there a visa requirement? Yes. What is the cost? Blank. So we knew exactly, by the time we purchased our ticket, we knew what were the next steps were. So guys, as you prepare to go to a country like Cuba, look, sit your butt down, just do your research. It just takes 30 minutes just to know the ins and outs of going there, and you'll be okay. Just do your research.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay, so your first time going there, I'm gonna go with you, AD Fearless. So what are some of the things that going to Cuba that you figured that you had to bring?
Well, after reading about it, it seemed, and talking to Kanal, it was cash.
Right.
That seemed a big thing, because you couldn't use credit card. There was no ATM. There was no way to get any type of funds once you left your, Miami or Atlanta. There was no way to get funds, no Western Union. So you were limited to whatever cash that you brought. And that was, I want to say, disappointing. Because if you wanted to do other things and you didn't bring enough money, you were limited just to that. So you had to bring all cash. And I'm usually carry card. So it was just strange for me to have to always be wary of how much cash I was spending.
Yeah, definitely. I know most people nowadays use card. Like Kanal said, he mainly uses card and stuff like that. So it's kind of a bit of I don't know if I would say culture shock. I don't know if that's the right word, but it definitely is surprising when you find out, like, okay, I'm only using cash and things like that. So very, very, very interesting.
Yeah,
Now,
that's why I'm usually in and out.
Go ahead, Solo.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that's why usually whenever if I do go, I'm usually in and out, because I don't like that feeling of knowing that I can't use my card for any reason, whatever, because you never know what can happen with emergencies and so forth. So that's why, always tell people to bring adequate amount of money with you.
Yeah.
However, even with that, you never know what could go wrong. Anything could go wrong and you're kind of stuck in so many ways. There's so many words. And during my first trip, I went with a couple of my boys, And one of the guys that went on a trip with us, he separated from us, and the first day he lost all his money, so he was basically asked out for like the next 3 days, and basically in so many words, we had to take care of him, help him out, and so forth. So that's why I'm always worried of what I bring, how much I bring, and what I do, and if I protect everything that I have with me, because man, that feeling once you have no cash, when you have nothing, and you can't even use Western Union to even send you money. Yeah. Yo, that's a bad feeling to have while you're there, and you can't use credit card. But like I said before, you can actually use your if you have a card from another country, you can use that. Of course, this is only limited to us Americans, that we cannot use their banking because of the embargo that we have with Cuba. But if you have a bank account with another country, such as most of us that spend time in Colombia, we have bank accounts out there. Transfer the money through there, do it that way. But nonetheless, like I said, be careful when you out there and plan accordingly.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, man. I definitely know how your boy feels. That's for another blog. I'm definitely gonna talk about some things like that. But
I mean,
so like with the culture shock, would you say like would you say like it was a challenge for any of you all to be adjusted to that, not being able to go to the ATM or use your creded card or Visa, American Express, so on and so forth?
Yes.
I think for me, I already knew because I already been there.
Right.
I kind of went there knowing that, hey, for the next 4 days, I'm going to be like checked out from social media, checked out from the web. So I kind of knew going there, just like, hey, okay, for 4 days, you guys not going to hear from me. And also too, I knew to bring some extra cash just in case, because I can't use none of my credit cards. So going to Cuba, you have to mentally prepare yourself for it. You can't just show up and think that, hey, everything's going to be fine. Like, you really got to prepare for it, because again, you may not have internet access. In the case you're in a situation, you may need extra money and you don't have access to that. So going there thinking that, hey, it's not Colombia, it's not Costa Rica, it's not Dominican Republic. Just go there and just say, hey, this is Cuba. You're in a communist country. So that's the mindset you got to have.
Absolutely. So now let me take you back to 2017, Kanal. Like what was your first initial reaction going there? And I know 2023 you're already in that mindset. But in 2017, your first time going there, what was your mindset like then?
Yeah, even then, because I already knew what was the landscape was, because I did my research. And again, guys, I go back to doing your research and watching other YouTubers that went there before I did. So I kind of had a general idea going there. But once I was there, I didn't realize how black Cuba is. I was like, because I was I'm raised in Miami, and it's like in Miami you see a certain race color of Cubans.
Right.
But to go there to the island itself, and you're just like, man, black folks everywhere. like dudes like my color or even darker. So that was the most shocking thing for me at that time. And to go back again recently to see that again, it's like, wow. It's like, man, that's cool, because again, the perception that you have in Miami is completely different than what you see in Cuba.
It can also to add, a lot of Haitians actually moved over there.
Yeah.
Haiti went to Cuba. I know a lot of family members from my aunt's side who actually have family who was in Haiti actually moved over. They went over there. I know that there are times when both, people go back and forth because, Cubanos will go ahead and help out people on the island.
Yeah, Haiti.
Yep, and then you see that. And then, of course, sometimes they'll, marry or get up with, some women. And, of course, some people just migrate over because they're trying to, have a better life and so forth.
There's an area in Haiti towards the southern point of Haiti. You could actually, you're not too far from Cuba. So there's a city in Cuba called Santiago de Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally there's a lot of Haitian descendants there, because they used to migrate back and forth between Haiti and Cuba for farming and everything else. But yeah, Cuba and Haiti used to have a great relations back then. But everything changes. So
I know we were talking about first impressions, and even can also do some research. So I'll just give you a quick story, because I debated people on this. I looked up, how much is it going to cost for a visa? When I made my reservation through American, the weird thing was the person taking reservations didn't even know that they flew to Cuba. When I asked about the cost, they said $50. But here's how they trick you. The visa did cost $50, but they charge you right then and there another $50 in processing fee. So that's how you get the $100. On the plane, I thought, great. So that's how I kind of met Kings and Dreams. We had a WhatsApp group that we were communicating on, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in Cuba in an hour. And I think he responded to me and said, an hour? Well, where were you at? And he said, look up, and we were back actually on the same plane. But my first 24 hours in Cuba, I hated it. I was trying to say, how can I get back home? And one of the reasons why, when we all left from the airport, Kings and Dreams, he went to his hotel and I went to mine. One of the deceptions that I found was they were saying, hey, you got Wi-Fi. Yeah, that doesn't really work like that. So we were supposed to get together. You know, King of Dreams said, hey, get at me and we can go grab something to eat. We couldn't find internet. There was no internet. We couldn't find Wi-Fi. We were trying to get a chip for the phone. So it was very difficult to navigate. And like Kanal said, you are cut off from the world. You know, if you are not on their program and getting their chip, their SIM card for your phone, there's no type of communication. Your phone is obsolete there. So getting that adjustment for that first 24 hours, for the first 24, I hated it. After I got into the mindset, I fell in love.
Oh, you know what? It's funny, guys. As you talk about that, the first time I went to Cuba with my boy, he's a younger guy, roughly in his mid-20s at the time. And when we first got there, he was going crazy because there was no internet connection for him. Because the fact is, you know, most of the younger guys, they're used to all being connected and so forth. He knew how it was going to be, but just that shock of not being able to use it was like just enough for him that he was like literally almost losing it by the end of the day. You know, and it's funny because of that, you know, he didn't want to go back, but then I convinced him to go back for the second time. And the second time when we went through it, he was well prepared. So mentally he was prepared, so he was okay with it. He wasn't going through those relapses, those issues of not having internet. And the funny thing is that second time we actually had a great time. We actually had a chance to really soak into everything because we knew coming in that we were not going to have any internet. Although we had internet at the house, it was decent internet, could have been better. But after we left the house, we just knew that was it. And man, we had like the best experience moving around, doing everything, socializing with people and so forth. So yeah, don't let that not having internet. This is for everybody else, not, you know, everybody in the panel, just saying for everybody else who haven't been to Cuba, don't let that be a showstopper for you to not want to visit. Just know that that's an opportunity for you to engulf yourself in another culture. That's the most important thing, because once you do that, once you get off the social media, once you get off all of that stuff, you tend to find out that, you know, you could do other things to have fun, and we enjoyed it. That's all I gotta say. That it was well worth it. If I might do it, I might start doing it more often, going out there, just so I can have no connection at all, just to disconnect from everything, because I felt good afterwards.
Absolutely. So Solo, let me ask you, you know, and at that time when you went with your boy, you had already been there before, correct?
Yeah. So we've been there before.
So your very first time going, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, for me, my first time going, before I actually went, I actually consulted with my family, talked to my father and so forth. So I had a good idea of how it was going to be, because he had me going down there dropping off equipment or goods to the family out there. So he did break down to me basically how it was going to be, but it's, you know, you can hear it, but once you step out the airport and see it, it's kind of like, wow, you know, you see how you get transformed back into a different time zone. I mean, not time zone, a different time period in life. And it's kind of like, wow, you know, so it kind of intrigued me even more when I was there. I got more excited because I'm someone that love looking at old architectural stuff. I love history. I'm a big history guy. So for me, like, I'm just like exploring everywhere, walking around, seeing what I could find that still is like a relic from back in the day, which of course you find a lot of that stuff there from back in the 50s and the 60s and so forth. But You know, step out the airport, like I said, it was just like it just hit you hard. My biggest thing was that when I stepped out the airport, well, when I got to the airport, there was no AC at that time. This was way back then. And I see the difference now when I went back a couple months ago, and even now that they have AC, they have more things to make things more comfortable for you, such as Wi-Fi. You can purchase Wi-Fi at the airport. Even the cars are a bit better that they have, the yellow taxis and so forth. So, you can see the difference from a couple years ago to now that they have progressed instead of regress, which is good. But it's still not up to what we're used to in all these other countries, such as we'll go to Colombia, Dominican Republic, whatever, Mexico, whatever. Just know that, as Black Man Travelers has stated, you got to go in there with a different mindset. You cannot go in there thinking it's just like any other country. I know some people do that. They like to compare or try to have that same feeling that they have in another country. It ain't that. So,
right. You know what I found? You know what I found that was great about that? When usually us being content creators, when we go somewhere, it's like, well, let me put up a short, let me post something. And I found that a lot of times I'm worried about posting instead of actually enjoying my time. In Cuba, I got a chance to say, I can't post, I can't go online, I can't check email. What can I do to entertain myself? So I had to engulf into the culture, which made it a much better experience once I was able to break away from any social media and actually engulf into the Cuban culture.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because as you mentioned, like us as content creators, sometimes we're so hyper focused on what video, what clip, what short picture to post up so people could see it, but we tend to forget. And I think everyone as a content creator has been guilty of this somehow, some way, right? We want to put in so much of the work, we forget to enjoy what we actually are there for. I mean, yes, we're there to get content, but we're also there for vacation, going back to the question at hand, Trini. So what are your thoughts? What were your initial thoughts on arriving in Cuba?
Well, it was definitely my first time there. So initially, everything was great. I realized the flight was very short. So I believe I'm the only idiot that paid for extra leg room for like a 45-minute flight, because I'm looking at the exit rows and it's all empty. Every exit row is empty, and I'm there stretched out like, yeah. And I think I took like a short nap and woke up and was like, oh yeah, we landed. I was like, yeah, that made no sense for me to pay extra leg room for this short ass flight. I'm the only guy in it. But after that, I landed. I was shocked that the immigration didn't give me a hard time. I was expected to be interrogated. So I flew through immigration. I found another gentleman from DC, and we were a little worried and concerned about waiting for our bags, because the way that it comes out, it's kind of different from other places. It's like one at a time. The belt kind of goes around all over. It's not really designated by flight. So it's like 4 other flights using the same conveyor belt.
Yep.
And see, one thing I was a little upset about, I'm one of people that need Wi-Fi. This was definitely a culture shock, a disconnect shock. The limited internet drove me crazy. It's part of the reason why I shortened my trip, and we can get into that later. But at the airport, you can buy a Wi-Fi card if you order it online. So you can pick it up at the airport, but you can't initiate the purchase at the airport. So that's an FYI to anyone that's going. If I do visit again, I'm going to make sure and purchase my internet ahead of time, my Wi-Fi, my SIM card ahead of time, so I can get service right then and there before I head into Havana.
Absolutely. That's good to know. That's absolutely good to know. So with the Visa, you got to pay a card. For the internet, so the SIM card or Wi-Fi, you got to pay with card. So that's also good to know. And so for me, it was definitely culture shock especially with the Wi-Fi. So like I'm used to speaking to my son every day. So that I would say like that was kind of my biggest hang up, because I'm so used to speaking to him every day, and I know like if he doesn't talk to me, he may like get a little freaked out. So that it freaked me out knowing that he was gonna get freaked out like if I wasn't able to speak to him. But But I like what you said, Adrian, of AD Fearless, because you get the chance to actually immerse yourself with the culture. Truthfully, whether a person wants to or not, you have to, because that's just the way things are. So my next question, I'm going to go with you, Solo, on this one. So my next question is, my bad, guys. Oh, okay, here it is. So my next question is, you know, now I know that you've been there many times and you have family and things like that, right? So, your first time going, how did you get treated there? Like, did you get treated differently because you're a foreigner?
So, man, trying to go back that first time. You know what? The first time I can't really say too much because they just knew that we were foreigners and they just wanted to, to chop it up with us. They just wanted to get to know us. That's as much as I could tell you. People off the street, they'll stop and ask you questions, say what up with you. If they catch you at a restaurant, they'll try to talk to you just to see what's up with you. Want to see where you from, what you about, where have you been at, what you go check out in their city, in the city of Havana, whatever. And of course, they also offer services as well. What I mean, from selling cigars or to transportation, whatever. So the first interaction is always heartwarming. It's always really it's cool. They have no problems with you. Just know that they're just looking just to have a conversation with you. Same thing with meeting with the family. It's the same thing. They just want to get to know you as a person because they're not used to seeing a lot of Americans coming over there. Now, my second trip going back. It was a bit different. You could tell that I'm walking down the street, you got dudes yelling out, American, and they're like, yo, go get them, So they're trying to talk to me, trying to sell me some stuff. So I seen a bit of a difference how things had changed within like 3 to 4 years, how, they're used to seeing a bit more Americans and they know that we're there spending money. So they're going to try to talk to you as you're walking down the street, try to, just sell you anything. And one of the biggest things that they know that, we're there to purchase are the cigars. So they're going to try to sell you whatever cigars they can sell you. But of course, you got to be careful who you buy it from. You want to make sure you get it from a reputable person. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Because some of it could be not the real deal. So you want to make sure you get the right one, because if you're going to drop $200 or so on some cigars, you want to make sure it's the right one. And I'm trying to think anything else that they sell. They sell other things and so forth, but it's cool. But everybody hustling, they're trying to make that extra money.
Cool. Right.
And one thing I also want to add, I know that we talked about the whole SIM card situation, the phone. One thing I can tell you from what I keep messing up with is that, if you have a phone that's unlocked, make sure you go down there with an unlocked phone. If you're going to purchase a SIM card, because I made the mistake forgetting that, my phone was locked. And that's why I wasn't able to use my phone, their actual SIM card. So as many times I've been there, I still haven't had a chance to crack the whole situation and have my phone with me everywhere I go. So I actually have an extra phone now. And when I go back, hopefully next month, I'm gonna finally have a working phone with a Cuba cell, number working properly. So I'll be able to communicate with people. But I kind of don't want to, because like we said, I kind of enjoy being disconnected from people, from everything, from the United States. But we'll see.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So let me go. And I'll go back to you, Kanal, Black Man's Travels. So first time in 2017, and probably one of the first, Americans to actually go to Cuba when things had opened up. How were you treated being there, as a foreigner from the States?
You have to understand, it's just when one president at the time was Obama, so that was a positive thing. When the first black president, so Cuba took that like really serious. They were super excited about that, and also the embargo was lifted. So at that time, you could actually go to Cuba and bring boxes of cigars, bottles of rum back with no issues. There was no limitations. So we were very welcoming and receptive, and the police there made sure that people did not harass Americans because this is like their first chance to start bringing, business and more tourism there. So it was a great experience. Again, Cubans, it was their first time being open to seeing African Americans because they never met one before. If you walk around Cuba, they're gonna think that you're probably Cuban or somewhere from the Caribbean. But once they realize you're American, it's like, oh my God, American in Cuba. So the reception back then was a lot different than what it is now.
Interesting. It's good to know, man.
Yeah.
All right. So, Trinity. So, what were your how did you feel that you were being treated as a foreigner going to Cuba?
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm always gonna give you the pros and the cons. So the pros is everyone is helpful. Everyone tries to like we got lost a couple times. People put us in the right direction. People always gave us recommendation of places to go, places not to go. Or if I'm looking for something particular, where to get change, things like that. And there's also the negative, the con, which is if they know you're American, you're gonna be solicited, to buy things, to buy cigars. And after your fifth cigar offer, it could be a little bit repetitive. So at some point we stop saying that we're from America and we start saying we're from different countries just to gauge the response that we would get from the locals. And it varied a lot. Like if you say we're from another Caribbean country, they almost immediately walk away. If you tell them we're from Europe or Canada, they will continue to pursue, getting some type of donation or some type of service. They will try to, negotiate with us. So sometimes we will not openly say that we're American. Or like you said, when you walk down the street, you hear Americano, it may not be a flattering thing at that particular point in time. So it all depends on time and place. So I would say there's, good and bad to most things. Mostly good. Like I didn't feel unsafe at all. But it's just that, do you want to go through the process of haggling, or do you want to go through the process of being solicited to buy goods and services that you may not need? You might just want to go from point A to point B without being sold cigars.
Yeah, it's funny because when Cassie and I walked around, we'll say we're from Haiti. Man, they walked away. They walked away from us. So it was like, whenever they say, "Hey, man, no, Haitiano." Oh, forget it. He ain't got nothing. Like, yeah. so we kept saying that to people, like, no, Haitiano aquí. He's like, oh, okay, they don't got nothing. They broke. They're worse than us. Let them be. Like, okay.
Oh man. AD Fearless, what were your thoughts initially as being a foreigner? Like, how do you? Sorry, let me rephrase.
So I've been to a lot of Caribbean countries, and my girl goes, especially when we're in Dominican Republic. You hear a motorcycle, you see two people on it. You take a ditch somewhere, you move out the way. Even in Medellin, it's always like, man, I got to make sure that I don't get robbed or something. This was the first place that I really felt safe. We were walking home at 3 a.m. and never felt like someone was going to come up on us. And I think one reason is because there are severe penalties when there's crime committed. And one thing they don't want to do is commit crime against Americans because they mess up any chance of opening up the tourist places. Also, one thing that I've found in most of the countries that I've gone to, in Caribbean and otherwise, is that there is a hierarchy of fair skin, if you're white, fair skin to dark. Even when I go to DR, when you go to the hotels, the people who are the maids or the service people are usually darker Dominicans, and the people at the front desk are lighter Dominicans. In Cuba, I never felt that there was a race difference. I mean, they embraced you whether you were black or white. You would see a couple. I know we've seen a couple that was a white Cuban walking with a black Cuban, never looked at differently. And while we were on a tour, I think the tour guide kind of helped us out. He said when Fidel Castro came in, he eliminated that. He said, you're not white, you're not black, you're Cuban, and that's how it is. And we've gone to some places where you would see the sign like no racism, no change. We went to the Afrocentric museum. The guy said, "Hey, you can be a Catholic in the morning, a Protestant in the evening, and practice the other religion at night, and no one cares." So that was the openness that I seen. It was much less judgmental, based on skin, religion, sexual orientation. So that really impressed me about Cuba.
Mm.
Yeah, and again, like for me being raised in Miami, there's a perception that you have of Cubans and the experience as well. So when you go to Cuban, the island of Cuba is completely different. You don't see the racial class, the colorism, all that stuff. They literally eliminated that. And I was part of that tour that I did with Adrian, and I learned a lot from that tour. And he kind of explained and went into history about, the racial issue, the classism, the racism, the colorism, and it was kind of cool to actually see it from that perspective. So it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So Trini, actually no. You mentioned Fidel, AD. I'm actually gonna start back with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts on the infrastructure?
All right, I'm going to piggyback on what Kanal said.
Mm-hmm.
The friend that I have that lives in Miami, their perception of Cuba is because they were part of that light-skinned white class that had their property taken and given to the government. So they hate Cuba. They don't want to give anything back. I used to think it was Cuba's problem as to why they were. And when we went on the tour, it's kind of broken down a different way. They said America didn't like us because it was Fidel. Well, when Fidel died, now what's the problem? There are people who were born that have always been born into this embargo, and they have no reason why. And I think the infrastructure, they're living in the past. There are no modern machinery to do things. And I think that causes the poverty that exists. You see buildings that are deteriorating just because they don't have the materials or they don't have the machinery to actually fix it. And I think if they embrace Americans. They don't look at us like politically bad. If we opened it up, I think if we wanted to change the political dynamics, that would be the best way. But they are in the past. I mean, every time you see a newer car, you're like, wow, they got a new Kia. I mean, it's just something because you always see an older type car or older establishment. But also in infrastructure, what I learned is, I think we went to a place where we had the Garfield drink. The drinks, the food it's different to us because it's not processed. When you get a mango drink, it is actually mango. When you get a drink, you're not getting simple syrup in it. You're getting all the natural ingredients. So if you are interested in living healthy without all the pesticides, everything they have is organic. You're not paying extra. You're getting organic food because they can't afford the pesticides to put on it.
The one thing to add, unfortunately, they don't have strawberries. That's the only thing that they lack.
There's no strawberries?
Yeah, so I got friends down there that every time I tell them that I'm gonna come down, they're like, "Hey, bring some strawberries." They ain't got no. They never know what the taste of strawberries are. So they're like, "Come bring some." I'm like, I can't do that. I get caught up by immigration and so forth.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. So your thoughts on the infrastructure, Solo?
For me, it is what it is. Since I know the history behind what's going on and the deterioration of the infrastructure. So, I mean, one thing that we stated before is that you could be walking down the street and the place from the outside might look like crap, but as you walk into it, it looks really nice. So you get a lot of that going on as far as going to different places and so forth, as well as, if you're walking through an old Havana, you'll see, as you're walking through, you'll see a lot of, like, look through the windows, people that's living there, you will see how they're still, in like old setups, like the power that they have, TVs and all that stuff. Everything is a bit pretty old fashioned, from even the elevators that they use and so forth. But once you get out that area, you start seeing things a bit better, but it's still, a bad situation. Or so, as far as the infrastructure that they have. But for me, I always thought that it was kind of cool seeing what it's like traveling one of those old school elevators that, instead of it being a push button, I forgot what it, like the regular digital push button, it's like those old school manual push buttons, and then the door is like a gate that you got to close yourself. So I always thought that was
like
actually
a freight
cool.
elevator.
Yeah, like the old school freight. Yep. But it's just old. It's not that modern look of it. So, but yeah, that's what you're gonna expect to see. Old infrastructure look pretty bad from the outside, but on the inside, they may have revamped it and it looks pretty nice, depending on the spot.
Yeah. And then Trini, what about you?
Oh man, so listen, man, I'm a sound like they're going with all the bad news, bro. They're living in abandoned buildings. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. It's abandoned buildings where half of the building may be condemned, and the other part of the building has lights and has plumbing and things like that. You would walk by people's houses, and if their windows open, you can see directly that that's their living room, TV, kitchen in one room. Right? You have people where they're throwing, like, I think we was going to I think we walked off the Malecon and we was walking into, I forgot where we was going, but we saw people like throw water, what we think is some type of liquid, out the window from a top floor into the street. So I don't know what it was, but I'm sure it was some type of waste of some type. So these people are living, not only, I would say, back in time, they're living in very subpar conditions. So I think you have to be prepared to see some things you may not be accustomed seeing. These are it's like it's like seeing mixed matched development. Like they're building, but they stopped at some point. Or it has a crack in the foundation and they just couldn't fix it, so they just use what they got. So you get that sense of that type of resourcefulness. One thing I mentioned too, like again, I'm the guy who needs Wi-Fi and internet. The speeds are not nowhere close to American. It's like maybe when AOL first came out and you had dial-up. That's how fast internet was. And God forbid you try to stream a little video, you might eat up your data, because I think we paid twice extra to our Airbnb person to re-up the data because we were going through it so fast. And the last thing about the infrastructure would be that the food restaurant process, where I didn't understand how limited seasonings were. And I think we went back and forth about, we don't want to eat at this place because they don't have any salt, they don't have any pepper, they don't have any tangin. And we found one place where they had like, what can I say? They advertised the seasoning. Like it was all on top of the shelf of all the seasonings that they have, that you could put all the spices on your food. So things like that you may take for granted, but when you're there, you're like, wait, this is missing something. Oh, do you have this? Or, oh no, we don't have that. Oh, do you have steak sauce? Oh, no, we don't have that. The ketchup tastes a little different. So when it comes to like food, you're going to be very limited. Like it was, to me personally, it was a struggle finding good quality tasting food or food with seasoning on it. We did definitely find some great food, but it's just not as common as you can go to any place. And one last thing, water tastes different. So we weren't drinking water from the pipe, but the Cuban-based bottled water, I couldn't drink it. It tastes weird. And I think Fearless wife had to make some type of concoction with lemons to make it more, what can I say, palate friendly. So we had to seek out foreign export water from some type of European country, not from America, obviously. Well, I had to seek it out because that's the only water I could drink. So just keep in mind those nuances when finding food. It's definitely nowhere close to what I would say you have available in other countries.
Also,
let me add to that. Let me add to that. Before we were going, Kanal was saying, there's places run out of food. And I thought that makes no sense. Yes, they run out of food. So I guess they only get so much for the day.
Yep.
We would go to places and like, oh, I want this on the menu. They're like, yeah, we don't have that. We don't. It got to the point where you just had to say, what do you have? Because half the menu would be gone. And if you're not there at like noon, I guess one of the cheaper things at one of the restaurants was chicken. And if you weren't there at, because the chicken on the kebab and rice was about $1.25. But if you weren't there at like 1 o'clock, after that, you weren't getting that food.
Yeah, are you talking about the restaurant me, you, and your wife went to the first night?
Yeah. When we went there, they was out of chicken.
Yeah. I think he said by 1 o'clock the chicken is gone.
Yeah.
And that's just by every restaurant too. It doesn't matter whichever. You go anywhere, go down the menu, and it's basically, by the middle of the day, they're gonna be like, no, we don't have it. Get you a cubano. Get you a sandwich. And one thing I want to add also, with what V-Blog with Trippin was talking about the Wi-Fi. That's one thing I want to touch on, the fact that I noticed that depending on where you go to, what place, the Wi-Fi is either good or horrible, or it might be good. So the place this time that I stayed at, which was pretty nice, it was a bit more upscale compared to other places in places I've stayed at in Cuba. It was actually modern, and the Wi-Fi, I was surprised that it was actually really good, because usually I'm in the Vedado area, and the Wi-Fi is hit or miss and it's very slow. But this place I stayed at, I was blown away. I couldn't believe how new the spot was hooked up and how the Wi-Fi was. I hope you don't mind, I can share a video.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely. And while you getting that video up, the first place where I was at in Vedado, the internet, when it was working, it was pretty sufficient for a phone. I don't know if it was like 3G, 4G. I'm gonna assume it probably was like 4G. I know it definitely wasn't 5, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. The only thing that kind of grinded my gears is that like the internet would go out for like maybe like 2 hours, and I'd be like in the middle of a conversation. I actually think one time I was speaking to you, AD Fearless, and then the internet went out, and I had to wait like 2 hours to hit you back. Yeah.
So wait, let me add to that also, because
yeah, go ahead, bro.
One of the young ladies we met from Europe, I think from Germany, Eula, if I'm pronouncing her name properly, she complained that she had power outages. She had that she went a whole day without any electricity, and how hot it is in Cuba. So Cuba, I don't think let me not say I haven't been to a place that's that hot. I'm not used to being 95 degrees at night. 6 p.m. it's dark outside and it's still 95 degrees. So it's really, really, really hot all the time. So I could imagine for a woman that you don't have any electricities and you're just there with no AC. I think she said she took like 5 showers that day. She had to just and no hot water. So she was just in the cold shower, just trying to survive that day. And luckily, we didn't experience. I definitely didn't. I didn't experience any power outages, and just had to deal with subpar or no internet. So I think we're lucky in that aspect that we didn't have any electricity issues.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh wait, let me answer this. The Cuban woman.
I want to get to that when we get to it. I want to get to that when we get to it. I want to get to that when we get to it. I want to get to that when we get to it.
The Cuban later.
Let's go.
Let's run the itinerary before we go all over the place. Go off the rails.
Right.
Yo, don't worry, Don. I got you. I got the answer for you, fam. I got you, fam.
Yeah. I see that. I was like, somebody go jump on that question. Oh man. So the food, as everyone mentioned, like, I wasn't too surprised. Because having conversations with Solo and Kanal, that was one of the things that they had mentioned. I think you said Black Man's Travels, like I think you said like 75% of the menu is not going to be available, you know. So I kind of took it like first, first come first serve type of basis. And I can't remember what time we got to the restaurant. I don't know. It might have been like 8:30 or something like that. Now I would say I was kind of surprised that they didn't have chicken, because I figured like chicken would be something like, kind of in abundance, if you will. You know what I mean? So I figured like they would have that, but other than that, I wasn't too surprised that they didn't have certain things on the menu though.
Ice is also a delicacy. In some
Oh
places,
yes,
can't have any ice.
Mm-hmm. Ice, ice.
And one thing I noticed where they were transporting, I would hope it looks like pork, but they were transporting some type of meat via bicycle. And I'm trying to remember, did I see any refrigerated trucks anywhere? And I don't remember seeing any refrigerated trucks. So maybe, this is just a guess, maybe daily, they have a daily delivery of meat and it's only good for that day. So they don't want to overbuy. So they buy what they could cook for that particular day. Just a random thought. Just me thinking out there, because I didn't see any refrigerated trucks at all. And if ice is about to come by, how would they refrigerate a large amount of meat? Just me thinking.
You know what? That's actually very interesting that you say that, because I didn't think about it like that, right? Because they don't have any refrigerated trucks, right? They don't have any refrigerated trucks, so you're probably right. They probably get like what they can use for a day, and then that's it. So
you know what? I just want to say this, guys. If you're going to Cuba, manage your expectations, because again, you're not going to get the 5-star resort treatment. You're not going to get the lobster and shrimp, combo. You're not going to get that. So for me, again, I've mentally prepared myself to like, hey, if I got to eat Cuban sandwich every single day, so be it. So it was like the amount of alcohol I was consuming, I had to make sure I was consuming enough carbs to handle the alcohol. So yeah, if you're going to go out there, eat early. Try to have dinner between 6 and 7. And after that, if you do get hungry again, there are like places you could go to eat, like the Cuban Art Factory, and just get a Cuban sandwich, man. Call it a day. Just keep it simple. If you're trying to go out there trying to have some Instagram food pics, Cuba is not the place for that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I want to answer Don's question here.
Oh, okay. I was gonna have Solo do it, but go ahead, do your thing, man.
No, there are restrictions. I was told that when I come back from DR and talk to immigration and said, hey, I'm going to Cuba, what can I bring back? He was saying that in Miami, I could bring back cigars, I could bring back that. That is not the case. You cannot. Souvenirs is all you can actually legally bring back. And I got stopped, and it was just by fate that my wife has global entry. She took the bags. And so I didn't have anything, because I had brought back cigars and rum. And, I was asking the guy, I said, I don't have anything, but I thought that was, we could bring back things. He said, no, you cannot bring back cigars, liquor, anything like that. That will get you flagged permanently when you are traveling overseas. So none of those things you can bring back. I think Solo, he was able to smuggle some cigars back also. So he got lucky with that.
He wasn't the only one. But
yeah, that's why I love global entry. I'll be able to go through it. Every time I go through global entry, I just get my face scanned, and they just be like, "Welcome back." That's it. I don't get no questioning or anything like that. But also, hey, I got a video to share. The place I actually stayed at.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So
the difference in infrastructure. This spot here, this was actually the most modern I've ever seen a spot. Me being there, because usually I'm in another area, but this is it right here. Yeah, I muted it, but this is right. It's decent. Most other places, I've gone to, it wasn't this nice.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Solo. Sorry, I had to mute Black Man's Travels. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm just saying that this is just this is the most modern place I've ever stayed at in Cuba. Whether it be either being at a family house or even just just a place, an Airbnb, whatever. Because most Airbnbs are not this modern. You're gonna get a lot of old stuff in there, and I was just like blown away. I was just surprised to see it like this. So this was actually one of the top best I could say that I've been to in so many words. But yeah, this is kind of how it is. Like on the outside, looks like whatever, but once you go inside, fully decked out. And the Wi-Fi was really good here. So that's kind of like some of the things that you get out there and get in Cuba.
Well, listen, I got a video coming up to show you this Airbnb horror story. Yeah, that's sad. Not sad. That I went to my second spot, which also convinced me that I had to leave a little bit earlier. Not as luxurious as the one me and Kanal shared, but the second one, bro, it was not it. Nothing close to that, man. Nothing close. And like Kanal said, you gotta lower your expectations just a little bit, man. This is not the IG worthy place.
Yeah.
No, let me answer. Can I answer Flyboy away?
Really
that
quick,
is not true,
really quick,
sir.
Before you do, I was just gonna go to the Airbnb. So the first Airbnb I had in Vedado, I was pleasantly surprised because it was really nice. And all of the bedrooms had air conditioning, so the air conditioning was good because like it's 95 degrees. It's that type of weather. You step outside, the minute you step outside, like you're already sweating. So definitely was nice, modern, and up to date. But yeah, you can answer this one. Go ahead.
He said that's not true. There's a limit to how many cigars you can bring back.
Yeah, shout out to my man, the Flyboy way.
That is negative. I thought the same thing. I brought back coffee from duty free, and because we bought it at the airport, I was going to also buy some cigars at the airport, but I didn't. I got stopped. So when you go through immigration, they pull you to the side because he said, "Oh, we want to check the coffee." While in immigration, while they're going through that, they check my book bag, and I said, "Hey, I was under the impression I don't have it, but I was under the impression I could bring back cigars." I know that you can't really read this because it's in you can't even see it. It's in Spanish. He gave me this letter, and he was like, "Here goes the letter," and it gave every constitution that said you cannot bring it back. If you bring that back, we will flag you. We will destroy it, and they were destroying. While I was in line, there was a person who brought back cigars, and you could see it on the table where they were destroying the cigars. They were throwing them away, dumping his liquor. He said, if you bring it back, it was I guess Trump passed a law, and it never got overridden. You cannot bring that back. You can try, and you can get it through, but if you declare it, you'll see what happens.
I ain't saying nothing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to preference, but shout out to my man, Flyboy way. So I'm gonna side with AD Fearless on this one, not necessarily going against what you're saying, but I was under the impression as well because immigration, they asked me, like once I got to Fort Lauderdale, once I got back to the States, they asked me for this, did I have cigars? And I answered, right? And so but they said that you're not supposed to bring cigars, you can't bring back alcohol, basically you can't bring back anything from Cuba because it's showing that you are supporting the people.
Yeah,
that's what they said. So it's not to say what you're saying, Fly is wrong, but that's what immigration told us. So I don't know what happened because I know in May you was out there, but I don't know what happened between May and now. But I did get stopped.
And I was going to add, we also have different experience every time we go back there. Every time I go back, I have a different experience of what's going on in Cuba. So what happened?
So now, that's interesting. So now, like, is it like, do you think, Solo, I'm going to ask you this. So do you think like one of the reasons why I guess things kind of flip flop, if you will, like, do you think it's because possibly like maybe it's like for election or what something like that? Like, do you think? I mean, I know it has something to do politically, but I guess my question is why the flip flop? Because why if Flyboy is saying one thing, AD and I are saying another thing? It's not like saying none of us are wrong because what happened. But why the flip flop?
And I think it's several things that goes on. If you're dealing with immigration, of course, you know that some people are more lax than the others. Some people care, some people don't care. But the rules are the rules. It is what it is. But one thing I could say is like your experience of being in Cuba, as far as what we go through, we got to take everybody's experience with a grain of salt, because what my experience is a little different to what someone else's experience is. A good example, as I talk about the whole money situation, I could say the first day, everything was good for me using dollars, but then by the second day, it became to be a whole different situation. I had to change it up depending on the people that was there. So, or in the area. So it's like everything flip-flops for what you think you might know that you have in order the month before. The next month, here comes somebody else and they're changing up on you. They're trying to find a way to get over on you, or whatever you could think of. So I think the flip-flop, it depends on how the desperation of the people, how much resources they need. I think that's what it comes down to, for what they charge or what they do and so forth.
Okay.
So let me add one more thing before we move on. I was just showing a video of the Airbnb that we stayed at. It was pretty modern. Pretty much kitchen was very modern. Refrigerator was great. The bathrooms were exceptional. I had good water pressure, hot water, everything like that. I just want to show you guys how it looks. So it can go par for par with any westernized bathroom, and it came in all those things like it was a little mini hotel. And the outside looks like this. So the outside, there's actually, I don't know if I could blow this up. I think I can. Like the outside, this is the outside streets. So it doesn't look like much from the outside until you go in. That they have something that's put together very well. Let's see how I get this back off. And one thing I want to add about the whole about not having the same experience. I went through immigration on the way out. I cannot find my visa. I didn't know that they're supposed to take it. I could not find it. And
I didn't know that either.
Remember,
I was. Yeah, but
well, you got to remember, I had no way to communicate for.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I had no way to communicate.
I think I read it, and somehow I misplaced it. So I'm there, and I'm, you tap in all your pockets looking for your keys. I'm looking for it, and I'm like, shit, I'm going to get stuck in this country. I'm gonna miss my plane because I can't get my visa, or I'm gonna be extorted for some reason. After 5 minutes, the lady, I stepped off the line, by the way. I was like, yo, give me a chance to look for it. After a while, I stepped off the line. 2 minutes later, the lady just said, here, just go by. Just go.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
She did the same thing to me. Yeah, because I didn't.
She gave me a look.
I didn't
though.
know that you needed it to go back because one of my boys, he was just there. He was there. I want to say like in June, and I asked, and I was like, I don't think you need a visa to go back, and he was like, no, but he didn't mention that you needed to actually give them the visa to go back. But yeah, so same thing happened like what Vlog Trippin said, like checking his pockets or whatever, and I was looking in the my backpack, and it was I thought it was there, but it wasn't there. So I think I might have left it in my suitcase, but I had already checked my suitcase in, so there was nothing for me to do about it, And I thought the same thing, and I was like, dude, I'm stuck here. I don't have a phone. I'm like, this is the worst because I can't even call anybody. And I'm like, man, I hope she let me through. And then she's like, okay, it's okay. Go. And I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, I had that same experience my second time going out there. That same thing happened to me. I was rushing. I was trying to catch my flight. I didn't even know what I did with it. So I was expecting like it was going to be like Mexico. For those of you that actually visited Mexico, you guys know that if you fly in, you got the Visa card. And if you forget that Visa card on your way out, they will make you go buy another one, and you have to go to a whole nother terminal. So I was thinking like, damn, I'm gonna miss this flight no matter what. So I was glad that they were like, yo, just go. After they saw me constantly looking for it and so forth. So they're like, forget it, just get out my face.
Right. So Fearless, I want to confirm, because I think you had mentioned that it was good for 90 days. It's a single entry visa, correct?
Yeah,
because I'm assuming I'd have to give mine back. I'm lucky I still found mine, and I'm like, damn, what if I could still use it because I didn't have to give mine back? So mine is unbroken, it's untorn.
They stamp it. Once they stamp it, that's it.
It's a one-time deal. So the 90 days is tricky, meaning if you purchased it like, if you can purchase it online, that means you have 90 days to enter the country. But once you enter, that's a one-time deal. So every time you go, you're gonna be paying about $100.
Oh, okay.
But I've
So
been
not to
one and
move
done.
on you Kings of Dreams, but I know that we've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
And
man.
most of the people are here for, the reason of how are the women, how is the nightlife things in
we about to get into that. We are definitely right about that was gonna be my next question. So that was gonna be my next question. So as mentioned, we are past the 1 hour mark here. So please make sure that you do like and subscribe to all of our channels. The links are below in the comments, so make sure that you guys are subscribed to all of our channels. So the next thing that we're gonna talk about, the ladies and the nightlife, man. So I'll actually start with you,
first?
AD. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if I go first, I'm a bounce guy.
Oh yeah, no, you got it, brother. You got it, man. So yeah, so you being there multiple times and things like that, now what are your thoughts about like the Cuban woman as far as like when it comes to like dating and things like that?
So I'm gonna tell you this out of experience that I dealt with in the past. I'm gonna tell you this: the negras, they are very passionate. For me, one of the biggest things I love about Cuba is the fact that there's a lot of skinny women there, and I love that. So that's actually like I have a lot of fun whenever I'm there, whatever. Just talking, chop it up with them and so forth. But I can tell you this, if your Spanish game is pretty good, you can easily walk up to any female and talk to them. You can easily dance with them. Of course, you guys saw me. I was doing that all night. No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what club I go to. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to them, see what's up with them, and I'm gonna get a dance out of it. Just have a good time, because they're all about, they want to have a good time no matter what. Women, Cubanas, they're all about having a good time whenever they're out. They're very friendly and so forth. And I know one person had a question about, if they're hairy or not.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up.
Just like any Latin country, it's just, it's bald. They keep it bald. They keep it clean. And especially since it's very hot out there, a lot of the women, they're going to take baths several times per day. But a lot of them don't have AC. So you better expect that, if they even come to your spot, first thing they're going to do is going to take the shower, use up your towels and so forth, because it's just very hot. It's very humid no matter what. But they're very approachable, very friendly. You can make some good friends with them, because they don't mind, chopping up with you, getting to know you. And so forth. Of course, just what I'm gonna say is that, as you being from United States, they're gonna ask you for a certain thing. They're gonna want to use some of your stuff, such as cologne, because they don't really have perfume and stuff like that out there. So be expecting that they're gonna be using your cologne,
your lotion.
Yep, your lotion. Yep, everything smells good.
Shampoo.
Yep, all that stuff. They're gonna run through that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But so to answer your question, the ladies do shave, and just piggybacking off of what Solo has said. So if you guys have a nice smelling cologne, even your soap, you know what I mean. If you guys have grease for your hair, or or if you got me, I'm bald, but I always like put something on my head to make it shiny, you know what I mean, like whatever, if it smells good, they are going to use it. So just be prepared for that. You know what I mean? And they get really, really excited, man. They get really excited. Another thing, the ladies, at they're a bit on, they're a bit on like the fit side. So, uh, guys, if you like women that are fit, this is definitely the place for you. Guys, if you tend to like heavier women, I would not recommend going to Cuba. I mean, there's some here and there, but the majority of the women are slim.
Exactly.
The
But hey,
majority of the women are slim.
thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate being up on here, man. Salute to all you guys. I'm glad I met up with all you guys there in Cuba. I had a good time, especially that the one night that I met up with you guys. But of course, you guys know how I do whenever I travel. I'll be in and out. That's just how I do, especially whenever a lot of functions are going on. Because I have a lot of things I'm trying to get into. So it's just what it is. But hey, thanks so much, Kings and Dreams. Thanks for organizing the stream. For all you guys that don't know anything about Cuba or looking to go to Cuba, make sure you guys go ahead and check out our past stream and even this stream as well, because this right here, this is what it is, giving you guys a lot of information. So shouts out to you guys, Adrian, Vlog, Tripping. I'm glad I finally got a chance to meet you guys. We got to do something later on down the road.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. And you and I, we are due for a one-on-one interview, man. We're definitely gonna do a one-on-one interview. It'll probably have to be maybe mid-September, something like that.
Sure.
But we are definitely gonna do it, man, because I know you and I we've been talking behind the scenes about doing a one-on-one interview, man. But we gonna get that going, brother. And thank you for being on, man. I truly appreciate it, and it was great meeting you, man.
Same here.
Salute, my G. Salute, man.
Salute.
All right, and then it was two, and I know Black Man's Travels. He's taking care of some family stuff, so he's gonna be back with us in a minute. But so let's go to you, AD Fearless. The ladies, the nightlife. Your thoughts.
As they said, there are no thick girls there. But if anyone's listened to Kevin Samuels, and when he stated, "Hey, look back at your grandma, your great grandma. Did you see any thick people?" And not because they were walking, they were eating healthy, they weren't eating processed foods. So I think that contributes to how in shape and how non-fat they are. So they're much healthier in that sense. The nightlife. So Trini, I know you didn't like the infrastructure overall, but they invest in their clubs. When you go to a club, it's like going to a modern club. You're going to get the music, the dance floor, the drinks, the VIP. You get the people dancing. It's they know how to party. They enjoy partying. So the nightlife, friendly. Never have you. I didn't have to worry about, oh man, the club gonna get shot up or somebody's about to fight. Never seen that. Everybody was enjoying their time. We went to the Havana, it was a Havana Music Factory where they were salsa. It was
it's not factory. That's the I'm gonna look it up. But the Art Factory, I think you're mixing up the Art Factory with
but the Art Factory itself was giant. We got lost. We came in together.
Yeah.
And we all got separated and got lost. It was that big.
Yeah, the Art Factory is huge, man.
Yep. So that was a giant place. I forgot the name of the salsa place, but that also was giant. And you seen the people of all ages were enjoying themselves, dancing, drinking, having a great time. Havana La Musica, something like that.
There we go.
Yeah, La Musica.
But a terrific time. Now here goes the downside. When you go to Colombia, you go to DR, you go to some of these places, I see there some women that make me turn my head. Like, God damn. I didn't see that in Cuba. I didn't see the head turners. I didn't see someone that just made me say, my gosh. And maybe it's just where we were at, but that's just my opinion. So I'd like to hear anyone else's thoughts on that.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that like that. man, like she's like that 9 or 10, like that, that that Medellin, or like Cali, Colombia, um, you know, certain places in Cartagena, not Clock Tower area, guys, by the way. But anyway, yeah, I didn't get that, but I would say like there were like some solid, sixes and sevens. I would say, you know what I mean. It's like, she's kind of cute, but it wasn't that, where you like, God damn, what? It wasn't that. It wasn't
Nope.
that. I,
Well,
I I didn't catch that.
one thing that you will find, if you do go to DR, you go to Cali, you're gonna see them fake booties, them BBLs, and breast
That's
implants.
yeah,
You do not see that in Cuba. It's all natural. You don't
yeah,
see a woman with a BBL or fake breast or lipo. They are naturally built the way they are.
absolutely, man. Black Man's Travels. I'm not sure if you can hear us.
Yeah, he got to check his mute a little bit. He in a car whipping it.
Oh yeah, he's driving, but it's all good. Yeah, so Trini, vlog tripping, man. Your thoughts on that?
I saw nines and tens. My opinion.
Where was you at, bro?
I guess it depends on what you were looking for, what type of woman you're looking for. There were a lot of slender women, so not much of like super hourglass figure, but for me in proportion they were great. Hey Kanar, hit mute, man. So my opinion is that I seen definitely nines, but I don't think it's gonna be your American standard nines. You're more gonna get like your girl next door. I don't see any supermodels, So I think if you're into a girl next door type of women, like someone in the neighborhood, someone that's in college, someone who's family oriented, even though in the videos that we have, maybe I could pull one up where, where we went to the salsa place. All the women there were fit. They were definitely in shape, but they're not gonna be like voluptuous, so it's not gonna be like a whole bunch of curves. Also I realized I didn't see many gyms out there, so I don't think people really work out. I think because of the way that food is, or food's availability, or food's pricing, people just don't eat as much as American does. And to add to that, so I have my Apple Watch on. Every day I was above like 1,200 calories just walking with you guys. I have to go to the gym to hit 600 calories here in America. So imagine what the average Cuban, how much they walk every day in comparison to what they eat. So without going to the gym, they're probably way more, at least cardiovascularly wise, definitely more fit than we can ever be, just their daily life. And we were hopping in out of cabs and taxis and still was walking. You know what I mean? So I'd even say they have a natural fit body to them. Like I said, not super curvous, not super thick. But to me, they were nines and tens. I like the girl next door, someone that you could bring home, wholesome type of look. You know what I mean? So I might disagree with you there.
Well,
the thickest girl I seen was Ula, and she was from Germany. A white chick from Germany.
Hear what you said. Thick. You're not gonna find thick in Cuba in abundance. You can probably count if you see a thick woman, any type of level of thickness.
Well, somebody put that they have dating apps. Did you try? I don't remember them. The internet was so bad. I don't think there was any dating apps.
I think shout out to my man Jay Fleming. I think he was talking about like maybe Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you were talking about like maybe like pipelining before we touch down, maybe like a Bumble or Tinder, or did you mean like a Cuba based dating app? Let me know what you meant by that question. But you know what? I thought about it the last night that we were there, the salsa club. There was one there was one dark skinned one. She was thick, but like she had like a nice shape to her, and I would say she was pretty attractive. She was a strong 8.5. Kind of going to what Flyboy has said. Flyboy has said that it was probably like 3 or 4 head turners. Yeah, I guess kind of like what Adrian is saying, like it's not like a lot. You know, it's not like a lot. You know what I mean? They're here and there, and we're not saying that the women are unattractive. That's not it. I think Trini might have hit the nail on the head where you said kind of like the girl next door type of look. You know, I think that's kind of the best way to assess that. You know, like you don't really see like the supermodel or anything like that, but you do see there are a lot of attractive women as far as like super head turners. No, I wouldn't
But
say that much.
You know what,
What?
King's Dream? Well, I'm thinking about this, and Trini, you might be right. When I think of the head turners, you know, you go to the club and you see extensions, you see makeup, you see all of these things that have enhanced a woman, and that's when she's a 10. She's not that 10 when she takes the makeup off. In Cuba, you are seeing the woman naturally, without the makeup, without the hair extensions, without all of those things.
Right.
And so we have been fed something fake for so long, we think fake is real. So when we see real, we're kind of disappointed. But that's really what a woman is supposed to look like. Her natural hair, a natural beauty to her, and a natural glow, a nice shape. And we just been fed a different perspective for so long. We can't appreciate when you see something natural.
That's true.
Fearless,
That's true.
I think that's what. Yeah, I was gonna say like they don't have the enhancements, so you're
Right.
not seeing like something like a waist trainer. You know what I mean? You're not seeing like all these expensive type of hairstyles. Most of the women hairstyles I didn't see any weaves. You know, they were just a natural hair that they had, and they would just do it the best they can. It was nothing elaborate, no elaborate makeup. Maybe a little what I get on me? What was those sprinkle dust or something? Glitter.
Glitter.
Like maybe some glitter.
Yeah.
That's the main makeup I see over there. They have some glitter, a little bit of eyeshadow, nothing over the top. So what you're seeing is, like to that era of the way that Cuba is, you might actually see what women used to look like back in those days. Yeah. Because there's no abundance of enhancements.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
I mean?
So maybe we're not used to seeing that. And you mentioned Eula. Eula is thick. Eula is like, thick with
hey, that made me want to go to Germany, brother.
Oktoberfest 2024.
You know what? Can I share? Let me see if I can share a picture. Oh, let me see if I can find one. Go ahead, guys. I'm gonna show a picture of Eula so everyone can see.
I'm just gonna talk about Eula. We was at the beach, and
Eula is not native Cuban, by the way.
Yeah,
so she's German, right?
She's German, yeah. So this is what happened. We went to a restaurant, and we see this thick chick, but we decided to leave that restaurant because they didn't have anything on the menu. We went somewhere else. I think the next day or the day after, we went to the beach. And so my girl was like, hey, that's the girl from the restaurant? I'm like, I don't think so. We went up and talked to her, me and Kanal. And I felt like Walter Payton. And I know this might be before your time. Walter Payton played in the Super Bowl. He took the ball 90 yards, and then they let the fridge run it in to the end. So that person right there is Trini. We set him up, helped him out, and he jumped in out of nowhere and tried to scoop it up like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Give me
I have no idea what this guy is talking about, guys. I have no idea.
Oh man!
I get this picture for you guys. But
okay. All right. So while you're getting the picture, so Jay Fleming responded. He was talking about pre-game. So basically pipelining, getting on like the dating apps and things like that. So I actually did do that. So I actually met a woman on Bumble, and actually two women on Bumble. And so that's so that's what I did. So I would say like it is good to pregame. Now again with the internet being the way it is, you're not really gonna run into a lot of women online. So like especially like in Colombia, you go to Bumble or don't use Tinder in Colombia, but if you go on dating apps like outside of the States, you see a bunch swipe. There's it's kind of slim pickings on the app, but the thing about it is that when you do match, I mean, when you do swipe, I meant to say sorry. You're gonna run into she's gonna hit you up. She's gonna hit you up because on Bumble, the woman has to message the guy first, so she's gonna hit you up. That's the good thing about it, though.
Yeah, I'll have a different perspective. I was just, for observational purposes only, I was just checking out to see what it is. And to me, I think that you're not gonna have a big response with any type of dating app just because of the limited internet access that most people have. So it's like for someone to invest in a dating app to meet someone and they don't have internet access, I don't see how that will pretty work. Do you guys see that?
We can only see her breast.
Oh, okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah,
oh,
so
wait.
Wait, go ahead and enlarge that again. You got it small. Go ahead and make that bigger.
Hold on. How about now?
Yeah, you good. Keep that up there.
I don't think I can.
That is the biggest chick that
I'm gonna give y'all 10 more seconds of Eula.
And one thing about Eula,
get the likes up. Get the likes up, guys. Get the likes up, man.
The one thing I can say about Eula is Trini found out it was her birthday, so she wanted to celebrate her birthday, and she was going to go to the Havana Club, the music fest. That girl can dance her ass off. She said she came to Cuba to learn salsa, and she know what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's a trained dancer, and every day she asks me if you guys have video of her dancing, because somebody in the group stated that you guys have video of her dancing in that club, and I'm like, no, they sent me all the video, but she thinks that someone's holding out. Okay, so please,
I got a video.
Oh no, there is.
I got a
So
I
can
took
y'all
the video
resend that
when we first walked in?
So can y'all send that? Can you send that to me? Not
sent
via.
it to her? Can you
I sent whatever you sent me already.
Email?
Yeah, send it to my email. That way, it's not WhatsApp kind of down converts it. But she's been asking me like crazy if she's in Puerto Rico about an hour. Sidebar,
okay.
But yeah, man. So no, Eula definitely stands out above.
Yeah,
I thought
the regular locals. I saw a video. I saw a video on Instagram, Trini. I thought it was you that posted the video.
What video?
Of what? For salsa dancing.
Possibly, but I sent her everything I had.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I don't know if you guys are holding out, because she's been pressing me every day. She thinks that you guys are holding out a video of her.
When did she do it? Because
ASAP.
My girl said that she sent it to her when we were in the airport. So she said she wrote it.
All right, yeah. So you guys have contacts. So I would just push it to her again, whatever. I mean, no big deal. I was like, look, listen, this is what I got. I sent it to you. Ain't nobody wants your videos like that. But she definitely was a good person that we met, easy to talk to. I didn't take over anything. I just, you guys kind of broke the ice. You guys did kind of break.
Well, we broke the ice, poured the drink, served her, and then you just came and sat in the seat like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, remember the?
Listen, I bought it under the umbrella. So just remember that I bought it under the umbrella. All right. So
hey, you guys remember the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots when they was on the 1 yard line, and Beast Mode was supposed to run it in for a touchdown. I'm telling you, the Patriots, Trini, you picked it off right at the end. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take that." Oh man, too funny,
man, you guys are hilarious.
Too funny. Hey, Black Man Travels, are you there, brother? I think he still may be driving. All right. Well, let me ask you. So what was your favorite nightclub? What was you guys' favorite nightclub?
Who want to go first? Let me go first since Chris is still muted. I would definitely say the Cuban Art Factory, just because it had different. It was gigantic. It's like one of the biggest I've ever been to in any country. It had probably at least 5 different rooms, possibly more. There was like a live band room. There was like a salsa room. There was a like a American music hip hop pop room, and that's where I was. I think that's how I left you guys. There's an outside where the restaurants and food is. There's actually art in there, like art displays and different. It was we got lost because we didn't have internet connection. I think we just like walked around just trying to find each other. And it's an upstairs, downstairs, outside. There's a upstairs and another upstairs. And I think you were more likely run into, and we did run into other foreigners there also. So I seen some Asians. I seen some people from the continent. I seen some other Caribbean people there. So I think if you're you know, someone like us that's traveling, that's probably your best bet for a mix of local and foreigners and good food and safety and different types of music. So I'll put that above the other clubs that we've been to for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. My favorite was the Art Factory, just due to the fact that like you had so many options, and you know, it was big upstairs, downstairs. I would say that was probably my favorite place to, you know, as far as with the club and stuff like that. So
I have to agree. So does anybody have the video where I think we got Kings of Dreams to get poured on from the bartenders into his mouth? So they were dancing and decided, hey, we're going to give him as many shots as he needs directly into the mouth. So that was fantastic time. The one thing you won't find, I feel, I don't think it was a lot of pay for play at that club. It was more locals. It was and the music. Me and Kanal got into one of the rooms where they were doing hip hop, and it was just like you was in a club in the States. They were jamming. I think they had some Drake, Tupac. I mean, every hard rap you could do, and they was packed in. That area was packed, and they were dancing, getting their groove in.
I was sweating, bro, and you didn't care. He was like, "This is where it's at. We're gonna stay right here."
Yeah.
You know, so I think that place is definitely probably the best place. We should have went there a couple. If we weren't like you know, obviously on shorter time and really were trying to maximize, we probably went there more times. You know, just skip the other places.
A fly, and anybody that's watching, I made sure that the bartender was a woman. I made sure of that. So with the whole shot thing, because I was like, it better be a woman that's doing this. So yeah,
I'm trying to find. It
find
was
the
two
video. Fine women too. Two fine women.
Yes, they were.
Because Kanal sent me the video. I'm just seeing if I can find this somewhere. I know I clipped it into my video, but it's not the whole thing. I'll find it though. You guys go ahead. I'll find it. August 13th.
So the other clubs, how do you guys find the women? So I found that they were pretty open, not tripping.
Yep. What was the name of the club we went to on?
It was 212, and then it was, I don't forget the other one across the street. I can't remember.
Yeah, they were like back to back.
Yeah.
Right, I think I got it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the woman.
We went to a couple clubs.
Yeah, well, what I'll say in general, the woman, you know, the woman in Cuba. So for guys who are interested in going to Cuba, the women are very approachable. You know, very down to earth. You know, knowing Spanish or a little bit of Spanish does help. You know what I mean? But again, you know, you start a conversation, whatever, like they're, you know, they're very inviting, you know what I mean? So you guys don't have to worry about that. Not to kind of segue off, but like I would say as far as like at night, walking around at night is very safe, you know, and could be like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you know, you feel very safe walking around. Like no one's gonna bother you. I mean, they may say like, oh, "Hey, American" or whatever. They try to sell you stuff, but no one is like, you don't fear for your life. You know what I mean?
I know that I see someone wants to know We bought some fruit in there, some mangoes. So how much did those mangoes cost in Cuba? And they had big mangoes. They had big mangoes. So how much were the mangoes?
I think it was the U.S. conversion was maybe $1.50.
Well, no. Let me reiterate.
So then, no comments. You know, because that vlog trip, and we're very fruit friendly and a very what can I say, a family oriented type of channel. So
gotcha.
You know, yeah.
I did not purchase mangoes. I was there with my wife.
Flyboy answered the question. Shout out to my man Omar Suarez. But Flyboy answered the question. You know, so there's that. There's that. Oh man.
Whatever he said. Yeah.
Nah, we can't take him off. He's one of the guests. He was there with me, man. Nah, I can't do that. Nah, man. But guys, listen, you know, you're gonna have a great time out there. Like, but manage your expectations, most certainly. If you're, you know, you're one of those people where you need internet. I mean, like, when you do have access to it, you better utilize it as much as you can, because it can go away at any minute. Like my Airbnb, you know, for where I was staying in Dorado. Oh, hold on, never mind. Let's, you know.
Let me see if I find the other one. There's a couple.
Oh wait, let this keep playing.
Well, it's gonna loop. I gotta find the other one.
Oh, okay.
Hold up. All right, remove that. How do I add another one? Okay, go to present. All right, cool. Bear with me as I learn this. You know, these YouTube streets. There you go.
No worries, man.
This one.
No worries, man.
This one.
As you guys can clearly see, it was definitely a woman.
We up. Hey, let me tell y'all, Kings and Dreams is in the building. Havana, we up, we lit. Let's go.
Hey, can you send that to me, man?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to see if I could find another video, because I know people ask me how the women look like, and I think one of the clubs would be trying to find an accurate representation. You know what I mean? So you guys go ahead as I look through the archives.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries.
If I was given a summary, because I won't stay long, I gotta eat.
Yeah, man. No worries, man. You know, so
if I was to give a summary of Cuba,
yeah, absolutely, man.
Someone to go, I would just say beforehand, do a little research, find out some restaurants that you want to go to eat, because there was a lot of restaurants that were pretty good that we just didn't get a chance to attend. Bring money that you're going to manage, and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to spend $100 a day. Make sure you save some money that you're going to have a cab ride back to the airport, that you don't go out because there is no change. There's nothing. Disconnect from the internet. Enjoy the time. You'll feel safe. And just enjoy the culture, because it's a culture that lets you know how things used to be, whether it's with women, whether it's with the food that you eat, the walking and exercises that you do. You will really enjoy yourself if you can disconnect. We've been programmed with social media so long. If you can disconnect from that, your time there will be wonderful. The women are very friendly. The people are very friendly. You'll have a great time.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Guys, make sure that you do subscribe to AD Fearless. You know, first time he being on my channel, definitely will not be the last time. No, we definitely got to connect, brother. Definitely got to do a one-on-one interview, man. Definitely excited, you know, to have met you. and glad to have you on my channel. Great conversation, great feedback, great perspective, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. So
And I know I'm gone, but please find a video of those natural looking women and play it. So when I play back,
you know what? It's in a 4K format, so I'm gonna have to see if I can upload it. Yo, we have so much video to go through, bro.
Yes.
Like we didn't touch the surface. I threw that little thing to. We have so much footage to go through and edit, and I think I'm gonna do my own version of this in another week or so. So I'm gonna definitely have it ready for that one. I'll definitely try to send it out to you, man.
So I'm going to end because I know Omar keeps wanting to hear about the honeys. So let me just tell him about the honeys. You will see, it's just like if you want light skin, dark skin, white, black, all varieties are there. They actually approach you. They will come up to you I wouldn't say aggressively, but they let you know that they're interested in you. They let you know exactly what they want. Very nice, petite, very friendly. I didn't see many. There was no women with like attitudes or hang-ups or don't talk to me.
Nope.
Very open and friendly. Attractive, just small. So you're not. You're getting maybe size 4s and less, but never had an issue. I mean, they wanted your time. They wanted to spend as much time as they could with you, and they just enjoyed it. I know that. Now, the sad thing, I wouldn't say the sad thing. If you find one, she don't want to let you go. She want to hang on to you for your entire trip.
Yep. That's very, very true. Very, very true. Yeah, I would say maybe like max, maybe size 6, but like, whatever.
That's too much, bro. I think that's
you think size 6 too much?
Yeah, I didn't see no size 6s there, bro. That's rare. That's a rarity.
Oh man, so maybe my math ain't mathing, but the moral of the story is that like you're not gonna find like big women there, So if you guys are looking for like thicker women and things like that, like a Cartagena or Cali, Colombia, or Dominican Republic, like you're not gonna see that there. You're gonna see slim women there, and just kind of going back into what you had said, Trini, with like walking around and stuff like that, you will definitely lose some pounds, man, just walking around. You definitely will lose some pounds, man. So for sure.
So one thing before I forget, one thing I want to add to the women conversation is a lot of them smoke. So I'm a non-smoker. So to me, that's a no-go automatically. But it's like so common for the Cubans to smoke. It's a higher rate than in the States. Mostly, I would say, just visually looking, I would say 65% of people smoke, and the women smoke. So if you're not into smoking, that may be a thing. If you do, that may be something you like. But it was a turn off for me. So I was like, oh man, a lot of these chicks smoke. So,
but not the cigarettes. Like the older people, they got cigars. I mean,
cigars.
You see that everywhere.
Yep. Yeah. No, that smoking the cigars. Yeah, that's everywhere. But yeah, a lot of the ladies, guys, a lot of the ladies like that, if you're trying to, talk to them and stuff like that, like they do smoke. So, pretty much like everybody was smoking there.
Now you talked about this, and I'm gonna let you know. Yeah, you can smoke as much weed as you want there. You think it's gonna put you in jail for 10 to 25 years? They don't play that. The one thing they do not play over in Cuba is the drug game. So, and I think there was an MMA fighter. I forgot the one from Cuba. He talked about it.
Oh, said, we met it.
What's that?
Yo, I mean, we met so many amazing people, bro. Like, how do we meet an MMA fighter in Cuba, bro? Like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
But, and he showed us his videos of him fighting overseas. Like, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. But they will let you know that is a no-no there. You don't see it. If it's underground, it really wasn't. It's underground because that's just something that you will get a lot of time for. So you think Brittany Renner had Brittany Renner? You think she had a rough time? Do that in Cuba and see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's not Brittany Renner. Is it Brittany Renner?
The basketball player, wasn't there? Brittany Renner?
No,
Brittany?
it's
No,
not,
no, no.
it's-
Brittany
it's
Renner is
close.
no. Brittany
It's the girl
Renner
talking about. Girl went to Russia. The
Yeah,
basketball
that
player you're
girl.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But Brittany Renner is
It's Griner.
Griner.
Yeah,
Brittany
Griner.
Renner, the one who finessed the basketball player.
Yeah. Brittany Renner. I was
Brittany
gonna say
Griner,
that's
the one who got the weed for basketball.
Same game, different positions.
Right. Absolutely.
What would I add to overall? What question you up to there, King man? I won't throw you off your itinerary.
No, we're all good, man. You know, I wanted to talk about property. You know, what I thought because like anywhere I go, I try to see like if it's possible I could possibly do like some type of business there, but I realized that you can't do any business in Cuba at all. And I know some people had asked me about that, like purchasing property and things of that sort, and you cannot do that. So that this is more or less a statement, not really a question, you know, but just letting people know like that's pretty much a no-go, like unless you are a Cuban citizen or you like you're in Europe or Canadian. I think that's where you can have businesses, but as a United States citizen, you cannot have any business in Cuba at all. Then the next thing is, what's the one thing that you guys had learned from visiting Cuba? And I'll start with you, AD Fearless, because I know you're about to head out.
The one thing I learned is social media is not as important as we need it to be or want it to be. I learned there that if I eat right and I exercise, I can live long. We went to a place where it was older, famous Cubans, and they were singing. No one on stage was under 80. And it wasn't that they were just standing there. They were dancing, moving, salsa. Everybody was over 80, and you would never know. So it changed my perspective on really what is important to me. Is it important to get online and show everybody where I'm at? Or is it important to enjoy the moment when I'm there? Is it important for me to eat right and live long? Yes. And so, and also, it gave me, you asked me in the beginning, about traveling. The one thing that I always wanted to travel, why I wanted to travel, the first time I went out of town, it was to Jamaica, and I got humbled. And so Cuba to me is that humbling experience that you go somewhere and you start to appreciate all the things that you've taken for granted, all the things that we just feel is commonplace, internet, having food, where do you go that just runs out of food? Ice, breakfast, transportation, ATM machine, credit card, all the things that we inherently take for granted, they have. So it humbled me and let me know that there's an appreciation, have an appreciation for the things that I've accomplished and the things that I have. And, when I planned, I didn't know what to take this time, but, we're planning a trip to go back. We connected with a gentleman, Roman, and, we've been communicating with him. He was a great tour guide. I think Kanal has his information on his channel, but we want to take some things back that we know are needed for the country. So, I know that we talked about the food, the women, but sometimes you have to give back. Too much is given as much as is needed. So it gave me a great appreciation for the things that I've had, and things like that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Definitely, got to give back. They don't have a lot of resources there. And one of the things that I did, so my friend introduced me to excuse me, my friend introduced me to another friend. She's a model, and I had bought some toiletries and things like that, things that we could go to, like, let's say, CVS, Walgreens, family, CVS, Walgreens, your basic, your basic store, you know what I mean? Bar of soap, lotion, things like that, things that we take for granted, where you could go to 7-Eleven or whatever the case is. We don't, like, they have it, but it's scarce. So what happens is that these things are so expensive, so they can't really afford these things. Also, one of the things that I did, and Black Man's Travels also did, we bought stuff for the kids, like toys for the kids and stuff. And so a bunch of, like, toys that my son didn't have anymore, didn't want anymore, because he's older now, a little bit older, he's 9 years old. But, like, we put those toys together, and then gave that to my friend Juliet. And so she gave that out to the kids that are in extreme need. So just kind of piggybacking off of what AD Fearless said, it's always good to give back. Sorry about that. But yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into some more fun stuff, man.
You want to see? All right, I'm gonna piggyback on what you said, but yeah, let me show the video here. Let's see.
Look at
me. Well, you guys saw King of Dreams in action. All right, that was his cameo in the video. You saw him, he saw a young lady, and easy approach, and she came coming. So that was great. That was unintentional, by the way. But I would say, if you want to get back to the women tip, that's your typical, in our experience, what we saw, those are your typical Cuban women that you would see. You know what I mean? I'm talking about their shape and bodies and how they dress and things like that. That's kind of like what is a more natural girl next door type of approach. I would say display, more or less. Go ahead, King.
No, I completely agree. The women are very approachable, man. You know what I mean? So, guys, if you have confidence, man, you'll be good. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Like, if you have belief in yourself, and you see a woman that you like, and
there's the one thick one right there. That's rarity. Out of all the girls, she's like the one thick one.
Oh yeah. But you know what's so funny?
You can feel the caption. Come here. There you go. Right there.
hey, if you could make a meme, it's basically just like, yo, come here.
That's the meme right there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think, man, this trip, actually, let me hear your closing thoughts on, and give me your thoughts on everything, brother. Everything, man.
All right, let me see if I can wrap this up. All right, so I would definitely say, just to wrap it up with the women, to me they're beautiful. I would definitely say there's some 9s and 10, but they're not gonna be the voluptuous supermodel types that you see in like rap videos and things. So you're gonna be like your normal girl next door, maybe going to college, not getting out of college, professional type of look. All right, so nothing nothing too high in cosmetics, not a high maintenance type of woman. They're gonna dress attractive, like you saw in the video. They're gonna dress attractive, but they're gonna be a little bit conservative. That's kind of respectful. Like they thread that line, and they love to dance. You know, they love to dance. They love to smile. They will engage with you, like you saw. He just called her over. And she came to hear what he had to say. You know, and they will stare at you too. You know, like they will stare at you and like try to call you over with their eyes. You know, so they'll definitely let you know that they're interested. All right, so let's talk about more of the Cuban people. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. I shortened my trip.
No, take your time, bro.
I was gonna stay for 6 days. I was gonna stay 2 days or 3 days after you guys left. And the problem that I personally had was Wi-Fi, internet access. I couldn't do without it. It could be sad. I can't disconnect for too long. You know, I do run a business. I run 2 businesses, and I need to be in contact just with how things are going. You know, not only with, you know, posting content and family and things like that, but I can't stay disconnected for too long. And the Wi-Fi that they have, it's SIM card based. There's no Fios, you know, there's no cable cords coming through. It's SIM card based internet access. So you can only get so much speed and so much reliability. And we were constantly reloading the internet and Wi-Fi. Also, Google Maps, it's very limited. So you can't orient yourself. Like it will tell you 15 minutes to get to this place, but it's not going to give you turn-by-turn directions. It's going to give you like a map. It's like going back to MapQuest days where it would tell you turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, but there's no GPS to follow you, right? You just have to like figure it out. So a lot of times we spent figuring out where to go. We got lost looking for a place that's 3 blocks from our Airbnb. We spent an hour and a half dripping in sweat. And it's a grid system also. And we were looking for the what's it called? The 5, what's it called, King? The 5 avenues, the 5 streets.
Oh yeah, the 5 streets, yeah.
The 5 corners.
Yeah, the 5, yeah,
right?
corners, yeah.
And it was 3 blocks from our Airbnb, but we could not find it. Over an hour walking, in the hot sun. To the point where I gave up. I left the group and I just went into a speakeasy. I had to buy something to get, you know, to use their Wi-Fi, and waited for them to find it and then tell me how to get there via GPS. So, you know, for me, I'm stuck. I need to be connected. I would say also I did with my research, I did look up that, you know, the Cuban people, I don't want to say the word suffering because you can't tell. Like these people are full of life and energy, and they're so happy with so much less than what we have. And it kind of brings them to perspective that you're living in, you know, this Western country, the best country in the world, you know, yada, 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 all this propaganda. And you know, people that have 100 times what the normal Cuban have, but they're not happy with themselves. You know, they don't have good health like the Cuban people have, you know, and they will smile every day. And I find it, you know, a little bit ironic that we're giving to them, but I also thought they gave a lot to me. Just to piggyback off of what Phyllis was saying, that you come up with a new sense of well-being, that even though you have all this in America and all in the States, you get to see that you're very blessed to have what you have, and you shouldn't take it for granted. And these people have way less than you, and they're way happier than you might be ever in your life. You know, so I did some research. I bought some things. I bought some things like candy, chocolate, toothbrushes, toothpastes. And, you know, I gave it out as I met people. And even though I thought it was kind of like being over charitable, they were more than grateful. They accepted it, no problem. They were happy for it. You know, they didn't even have to ask me. And people would just help me find direction. I'd be like, hey, listen, you want this candy bar? You want this toothbrush? Hey, I happened to have a couple of bags of items like aspirin. And I went to Walmart. Maybe I spent like $15 US, but I made like little gift bags for people just in case we encounter them along the way. So little things like that goes a long way, and they look out for you in return. You know, they'll tell you, you know, don't go that way. Here, this guy's gonna give you better change. So in closing, speaking of change, in closing, I would say Cuba's not for everybody. Temper your expectations. I shortened my trip. I will return, but being the lack of Wi-Fi internet access, the lack of infrastructure, cabs, there's no Google, not Google Maps, there's no Uber, right? So you have to depend on the cab people, and sometimes they can be shady. They might want to double up on the charges when we got there. Like I think 2 nights in a row, we had to like give a little extra and go back and forth over discussion of pesos, of Cuban pesos, right? Because you only have a set amount of US dollars. And that's another thing. I think who mentioned that? I think ORD mentioned that he doesn't like not having enough money. So you're cut off from all your banking. There's no way for you to get more money. So what you have is that's it. If it gets lost, if you get robbed, nobody cares. No one's going to have sympathy for you. You need to pay them whatever you need to pay them. There's no swipe. You can't phone a friend and get Western Union. That is it. So that's kind of something you have in the back of your head when you're traveling, because it's like you don't want to overextend yourself. Like a lot of places we could have went, we kind of held back. Like I wanted to go to Varadero, right? But it's 150 US to get a cab there. Well, that's what I was quoted. So it's like, do you really want to spend $300 to go back and forth, knowing that you can't get more money? You might want to do that,
Yeah, hold on. Not to interject, but just context. That's $150 for a 2-hour trip, and that's each way. So it's 300 round trip for a 4-hour trip. Just because, as we mentioned, the resources are scarce. So gas is a resource that they don't have much of. So if you want someone to bring you out there, 150 is probably like the best rate.
Yeah, man, because I wanted to go check the beach out there, but with the time I was like, I don't know if I want to spend so much money knowing I'm limited on cash. And you always want to have emergency money, like something happens or you got to catch a flight out. So to shorten my story, I changed my flight. Luckily I got the flight changed for $20. I had another Airbnb for another 3 days, and I think that's why I hanged out with the morning before we left, and it was horrible. Like, good thing we didn't stay there, because it was a horrible place. I'll make a YouTube video about how bad it was. But ultimately, it's not for everyone. Great people, great experience. Even though I was in a communist country, I didn't feel any type of surveillance. I think certain places we couldn't go, like the government ran restaurants and government ran hotels. We saw police and no one bothered us. I think we got pulled over once for leaking ice water on the way to the beach. I don't think you were with us with Dream, but we went to the beach. I think Cayo Maria or Santa Maria, correct me. And we didn't have any negative interaction with the police at all. So even though it's this big communist country, I never felt unsafe. I didn't feel super surveillance. The immigration was cool with us. No one tried to extort us in any way, ask us for more money. We didn't get superly overcharged. You know what I mean? So, one last thing, the exchange rate fluctuates. So here's a hustle from my observation. Okay, the exchange rate in the bank is like 160 Cuban pesos to one US dollar. The exchange rate on the street is like 200 Cuban pesos.
Yep.
And from what I told from the photographer was that the Cuban people could then go get 210, 220 for the US dollar. So the hustle is they would just exchange money all day and end up with a profit. Right? Because if you exchange it at the bank, and the restaurants too, the restaurant won't tell you this, but they're going to give you 160 for the dollar when you pay in US dollars, 160 pesos. So you're actually losing 40 or 50 pesos when you go to the restaurant. So that's why it kind of makes sense for you to change your money, and then you don't want to change too much, because then you're stuck with money you can't change back. So it's like it's kind of living from day to day. So each day I think I changed 100 US in pesos. You know what I mean? So it's like those are things you have to have strong money management capacity while you're there. So for some people that may not be a vacation, because you have to manage your money all the time. right?
Right.
So, man, I think I ran it long enough. But yeah, man, it's like it's not for everybody. I definitely will go back. I think if you go, make it a short trip like what we did, 3-4 days. I think anything more than that is pushing it, unless you're like maybe well versed in Cuban culture or you speak fluent Spanish, maybe. But besides that, you might want to limit it, get your toes wet, and then go from there.
Excellent points, man. I didn't know about the conversion at the restaurants though. Now I did know about the conversion at the airport because I knew that the airport was gonna give you less. So what I did, I exchanged with my Airbnb, and so another thing what I did, so guys traveling from the States, so get euros, right? Get euros from your bank because the euros are going to be more than the US dollars. So I actually got, I think 210. No, was it 205? 205. I think it was 205 or 210 for euros. But either way, it was more money for euros. So yeah. So what I would recommend is guys, before you travel, get some money for your bank. Obviously, bring the US dollar and stuff like that. And then, exchange it with Cuban pesos. But again, don't exchange it all, kind of what Trini was saying, because, you don't want to just be like coming back with Cuban pesos and you don't know when you're going to go back. I mean, unless you know when you're going back, I understand. But it's best to have euros, US dollars, and Cuban pesos. So have all three.
My bad. They gotta get a better way. They gotta be better way to bring these videos. I just bring it in and it plays automatically. So maybe that's a setting I gotta take off.
No, it's all
this
good.
This is the Cuban Art Fact. This one to show a little bit more to what we were talking about. And this is a hip hop room, so I'm just gonna play from here. Well, I'll say the American music room, I should say.
Yeah.
See, and it was packed.
Yeah.
Packed. I think I got one more to share. Yeah, it auto plays. As soon as you pull the video, it just plays automatically. Let me see if I can find that one more to share with you guys. Some of you guys want to, see what we were doing. Let's see. Well, this is just a short one, but this is outside. So over here where we were eating and getting food, and I think the bar area where you guys were drinking bar wasn't too far from here. It's a short video, but yeah, that's pretty much so. That's how big the Cuban Art Factory is. It's just the outside section of it, and there's more spaces in the back and there's more in the front. So just giving you guys a look of how it was.
Yeah, man. The Cuban Art Factory is definitely dope, man. I think I'm gonna go back in December. So certain things that I wanted to do that I wasn't able to do. And I'll get into that because I'm gonna do another video talking about a couple of faux pas that your boy Kings and Dreams did. But hey, you know what?
Some do's and don'ts.
Yes, do's and don'ts. You know what I mean? There were some things I did very well, and there were some things I did not do very well. So,
yeah, man.
But there's always, I would say, for me, one of the things that I learned, was that, temper my expectations, and then also, also realize don't rush everything. And I think in my mind I was trying to rush a lot of things, and you don't necessarily have to rush things. So I'm speaking kind of cryptically because once I'm gonna have a video talking about the do's and don'ts, and then you guys will get it. But I definitely think I kind of rushed some things,
Hold up, Dan kind of joined late, so I think I said if he had a
Oh
question,
yeah. I know nada about
we'll oblige
Cuba,
him.
so- Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, Dan. What questions you want to know? Shout out to my man Dan Sparks. Dan Sparks in the building, man. Definitely, one of my biggest supporters right there, man. Always showing love. He's in Bangkok right there. Oh, can you? Yes. So,
See,
good.
good thing I brought
This
it
is a
up. Go
good.
ahead, Omar.
This is a good question, Omar. So, from what I gather, is that like a lot of the Cubans are looking to get into the United States. So, just be mindful of that. You have to be mindful. I mean, listen, can you bring them back? Yeah, but you also got to be mindful of, who you're dating, and you got to do some serious vetting, right? Because, like like they don't even have ketchup there, and we're talking about toiletries, deodorant, soap, and things like that, that they have them there, but they're gonna charge the people arm and a leg because the resources are scarce. So you know you're gonna be looked at as a resource, and maybe she may like you for the moment, but you just I personally don't think that it's in your best interest as a man to do that. I don't think unless there's some sort of agreement, if you will, and I won't go too far into that, but like if it's strictly like, oh, I love her and I want to have a family and stuff like that, I don't think so, man. I would be very, very, cautious, have the side eye, you know what I mean, on that one.
Let me see. From what I gather, it's not, I don't think it's easy to do on top of that. So I don't think I have anyone I know, any inkling that this is an easy process. So I think most women, like from what I got, no one, propositioned me with, hey, can you bring me back to the States? Because normally when you go to other countries, like let's say a DR or Africa or some parts of Asia, they will let you know up front, this is my end goal. So I didn't get that from the Cuban people. So I don't know how plausible or what hoops you have to jump through to do it, because even sometimes for someone to visit us, you have to supply their name to the Airbnb, so the Airbnb can then supply their name to the Cuban government. So there's still communists. Like I said, I didn't feel much surveillance, but let's believe there is surveillance going on.
Right.
And there's police stationed just all around the Cuban people. Everyone's on their best behavior, but they were just stationed there looking. So, and just to add, even though the infrastructure is down, we did see many cameras. So infrastructure, you're gonna have abandoned houses, and on the abandoned house, there's gonna be a camera right up there,
Right.
being
That's
big brother
true.
to you.
That's true.
So I think you can bring them back. I don't think it's as easy as other countries where like it's common to bring someone from the DR, or common to bring someone from the islands, or common to bring someone from Thailand or any parts of the world. It's just not common to say that, I met my wife in Cuba and I brought her over to the States. However, in certain Facebook groups, I have seen people move to Cuba and live there. I don't know how that works out, but I would see more of that more than the other way around. And
Yeah,
I know we answered this. I don't know if we answered this. Hold on. I want to answer this real quick. The answer is yes. I know if you answered. I know you skipped it, but it's yes.
No, we did answer it.
You did? Okay, cool. My bad.
Yeah. We said that they shaved. No, we did answer it, but I do want to circle back, because you said that you were in some Facebook groups where some guys actually relocated to Cuba from the United States.
Yep. Men,
Wow.
women, but it's more out of Havana. It's more like the places that are far away. Like they'll say, "Oh, come to Trinidad and we'll take care of you. Come to Videra." Like they're really living off the grid, very simple life. But somehow they're able to get their American income translated there, so they're able to live comfortably. You know what I mean? And just have a family out there. So I see that more that they're moving there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. And then
he's asking, let's see. Hold on. Let me get this real quick. So this answer is yes, but they will be ID'd and reported to the the Cuban government. So once they have ID, it's pretty much a go.
Yeah. So where I was staying at, like, you know, yeah. I'm just gonna say yes because I don't want to get people caught up there. Yeah, so I'm gonna say yes. Like, yeah, you can. Now, here's the thing. So if guys, you happen to meet a lady or whatever, if you can't be seen like walking with her if she is not if she is not like born in Havana. So like one of the ladies that I met, she's actually from Santiago, and she was saying that she can't be walking with a foreigner. But one of the ladies, that I was walking with, she is from Havana, and I could walk around with her. So just be mindful of who you are walking around. Like if she's not a resident, like if she wasn't born in Havana, then you can't be seen walking around with her. I mean, there's obviously loopholes, and you could get her to go to your Airbnb and stuff like that. But like walking the street with her can't happen. Let's see here.
Just to piggyback on that. No, that's cool. Just to piggyback on that, I think from what I can, my observation was that it's better for them to get a cab, so they can jump in a cab with you, no problem. And I think what's just from point to point, I think everyone is just what's the right word? Safer and protected that way. So I didn't see many. I did see a lot of foreigners interact with local women all over, but I didn't see them walk like swinging hands and stuff like that. You don't see that much often. So I think they just hop in and out of cabs. Yeah, and especially if there's an area where there's police around, they'll let you know, hey, listen, there's police stationed on that corner. We're gonna have to go this way or take a cab that way. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, so like guys, like if you're trying to go out like on a date and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like if she's not from Havana or she's from somewhere else in Cuba, that may be a problem. But if she's from Havana, like you have no issue. The Havana is more laxed on that. I think I'm pretty certain it's because as a United States citizen, if you have a U.S. passport, the only place we can fly into in Cuba is Havana. So I think that like Havana kind of technically put their foot off the gas because they know that foreigners are coming there. And I think that, foreigners would be deterred, like if they're not able to, meet a woman and, kind of walk around with her or whatever the case is.
I think there would be a little bit more lax on the rules in Havana, because like I said, I personally didn't feel constricted at all.
Yeah, yeah. So I know you mentioned Vedado, and I'll get to Lord Lovesmith. We'll get to Lord Lovesmith's question in a minute, but Flyboy, if you're still there, but I know Flyboy went to Veradero, not Vedado.
Yeah, I know pronouncing it horrible.
Huh?
Go ahead. My pronunciation is horrible, so go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, but Veradero. Now when Flyboy went out there, he said that he basically stayed a day out there because it takes 2 hours to get there, and then and he's a content creator, so you go in to explore, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like you might as well just stay the night out there. So that's what so that's what he was saying. So I just kind of wanted to kind of give that tip if someone was trying to go to the beach out there. You're basically gonna take a whole day. I mean, and besides, you don't want to spend $150 to get there and then try to rush. You want to enjoy your $150 worth, right? So you might as well
Right.
just stay out there. You know what I mean? Now when you're out there, you do have to be mindful of like your Airbnb because of the whole guest situation. So it's not lax like Havana is.
Hmm. Yeah. All right, let's get to Lord Smith's question real quick. Should be quick answer. Want
Yeah,
me to get
go
it or
ahead.
you got it?
You got it. Go ahead, bro.
Let's say we had food for as little as $2-3. Like that place, I don't think you was with us. Can we went to a place where we got like Cuban sandwiches for like $1.25, rice and chicken for like $3. So
Mhm.
food wise, it can go stretch very long, but also the quality of food might be not what you used to. So you went to one restaurant where I think we overspent. We spent like, how much did we spend? Like 40 or $60 or
80.
something?
The
We
well, the
spent
bill
80
came up to 80. Yeah, the bill came up to 80.
$80. It was how much? Was it four of us sharing? Yeah,
It
it
was
was four
four
of
of
us
us.
sharing.
So
It was
so
me
so
and you
essentially,
and two young ladies. Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So yeah. No, I was just gonna say essentially $20 a person.
Right. And that's excessive technically. We shouldn't have spent that much. It should have been more
Yeah.
like $6 a person, $10 a person. But we let the young lady choose a restaurant, and that's the one that they chose. So
Yeah, and I had and I kind of had a feeling like it was kind of gonna go that way, because I asked her had she eaten there before, so she's like no, but my friends have, so I'm like okay, I'm like this is probably a little pricey. Now I will say that I do like the restaurant itself, and then I like the vibe because like they were playing Afro beats and stuff like that, so it was a
right.
good vibe. But as far as when it comes to like price, Trini's absolutely right. Like it was definitely overboard because like the average, meal, you're spending anywhere between like two to between $2 to $10, $2 to $10
Mm.
dollars. You know what I mean? Like even in Vedado, I went to this halal place because I don't eat pork. So I went to this halal place. It was right across from my Airbnb. I don't think you went to my Airbnb, the one in Vedado, Trini. I don't.
Nah. Mm-mm.
You were supposed to, but then the party got canceled, right? I remember.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So there's a halal place like right across the way, and and so I had got grilled chicken. I got grilled chicken, rice, and some vegetables, and that came up to like $7, you know. So so a meal charging $20. That's definitely out of the norm. That's definitely out of the norm.
Dan, you know what they ordered, bro? They ordered seafood, bro. They
Oh yeah, they
some
ordered
shrimp.
seafood, man.
They ordered shrimp or something. They ordered
Now
they ordered
now
some fly shit.
hey, Dan, you know what? And typically on this one, I will completely agree with you. What I will say is that like due to the lack of resources that Cuba does not have, I was like, you know what? Like, let me kind of throw her a bone, so to speak. You know what I mean? But if we was in Colombia, DR, or Thailand or something like that, oh hell no.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's because we didn't have alternative options. Also,
Yeah.
so we were just letting them lead us wherever
Yeah.
wherever they wanted to. I'm trying to see before we wrap up. I'm trying to pull up some pictures real quick of
Yeah.
the food and stuff. Maybe some pictures of us real quick just to exit out the video.
Shout out to my man Tim Howard, one of my moderators is in the building. Please make sure that you guys hitting the like button and the notification bell, and make sure that you guys are subscribed to all of these channels, guys. Subscribe to Vlog Tripping. This brother started his channel in March, and he already hit the 100K mark and over 100 videos. Man,
Whoa! Not 100, not 100K. I hope a
I mean,
thousand subscribers.
I'm sorry, 1,000 subscribers. Oh, I caught myself.
over
My fault.
100, over 100 videos uploaded. There you go. So I got
100
some
videos
content for you to look
uploaded
at.
and 1,000 subscriber count. My bad.
There
And
you
then
go,
shout
there
out
you
to
go.
my
I mean,
man
I wish.
Prince Owens that's in the building. Black Man Travels, man. Thank you for coming back, brother.
Yeah, man, I had to take my son 45 minutes out.
Nah, man, it's all good,
So
man.
it's
Trust
just
me,
like-
I know how it goes, man. I got my little
Yeah, you know, you have kids, man. You know, tomorrow's school and stuff, so I had to like take care of that. But overall, I was listening. You guys pretty much talked about everything that we experienced, so that was on point. And Trini did a great job talking about the restaurant on our first day. Yeah, we did kind of spend a little bit too much money there.
And the food was subpar. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
It was
For me, like what I like. Okay, so when I say I like the restaurant, I like the vibe, I like the music and stuff. But like the food, yeah, it was okay. But yeah, it wasn't no $20 worth. Absolutely.
You know what? Hey, Trini, you remember that spot we went to, the Cuban Art Factory, where we got those Cuban sandwiches and those balls?
Yeah.
And we got like, that big ass mojito. That stuff was really good, and that only cost like $2.
That's also
it was just
the food is like under $5. Under $5.
And
we spent $20 per person. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and the thing too, that the Cuban Art Factory, the amount of drinks that I had out there and the drinks pouring in our mouths and everything, dude, my bill only came up to like $19. Of all the drinks that I was buying, taking shots here and there, $20 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you.
Nah,
I'm trying to upload
man.
these.
Yeah, we said
Actually,
oh, my fault. Go ahead, bro.
No, I got a
Share
clip.
some stuff if you can. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Yeah, my apologies, guys. You know, I had so much to do with this kid, man. I was like, he threw me off. It's like,
No, man, no worries, man. You know, father, parenthood comes first, bro. Trust me, I get it, man.
Yeah.
You know, now school up north doesn't start until the day after Labor Day.
Right. So you got leeway. Your time is coming.
My time is coming. Absolutely right. Yeah. So one of these live streams, I'm gonna have to pull one of those Black Man Travels and be like, "Hey, man, I gotta get my little kid to bed, man," because these kids they be trying to sneak and watch stuff. I'm like, bro, you gotta be up.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So let's share some content, man. Again, I know I had to fall back. Let me share some things.
Yeah, no worries, man.
We had a great time, man. All right. So you guys can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Definitely, this is one with King of Dreams right here.
Oh, we he showed it, but we can show it again.
Yeah.
Now, guys, there are some baddies in this place. There were a lot of baddies in this spot, man. I was like,
Lord have mercy.
I mean, let me just scroll back a little bit. Look at this right here. Watch this person that just walked by. Look at this, man. That's Cuban, dog. Oh, authentic. The one in the yellow.
Oh yeah.
Dude, there were a lot of baddies checking this out too, man. They were like looking.
Yeah.
And look at this one right here. The one with the blue top, smiling, seeing you all dancing. You see that?
Yeah.
See if I can make it a little bigger. I guess I can't.
Let's see.
Look at Solo.
Yo, we're taking so many damn shots. Like here, Adrian taking his shots.
I was probably on the dance floor, right? I think I did my own thing.
So I mean, great times, and of course, I got so many content on King of Dreams trying to like mac the chicks. Like, let me see if I can.
I show one of those too, man.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Hey guys, man, you guys gotta send me these clips.
Dude, I got so much content on you, Kings, man. It's just like if you ever talk shit.
We could pull his card. man.
Bro, if you ever talk shit about me, man, I got so much shit on you. It's crazy, man. I like, all right, yeah, what? But
Why,
like, man, look,
why would I talk shit about you?
no, I'm just saying.
Oh, you
he's-
saying that you keeping receipts on your? Hey, man, you see what Black Man Travel trying to do?
Yeah, man. Okay, so I see how to get stuff uploaded now. Okay, I got it. You gotta upload it. Okay, I see how it's done now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say
man.
some
I mean,
stuff earlier.
what happened?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's a great time, man. It's like we really had a great time in Cuba, man. Walking around. This is us walking around the strip, like near the downtown area. You know, the classic cars and the architecture and the government buildings. So, I mean, we got it in, man. Cuba is definitely a recommended trip, but don't go there thinking that you're gonna have a Dominican experience or Colombia experience or Brazil experience. Like, this is a Cuban experience, but take it for what it is. But you could go out there and have a great time. Like, look at this here. Yeah, man. So
Okay,
you go out and have a
nice.
good time, man. And of course, I mean, I know we did the African culture stuff. Trenny had a great position like from his standpoint. But this is some of the videos I was able to capture from my standpoint.
Nice.
Short answer, Dan, yes, but I think it's not for everyone. I think it's it's acquired taste, and I would say take it in small amounts. Your first trip, make it a nice 2-3 day weekend trip, and then you could take it from there. But the money, cost wise, it was way affordable. Your money does go long, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
I'd have to second that. Yeah, like the juices. Yeah, the juice is worth the squeeze. And another thing, like Black Man Travels and I, we're both fathers and stuff, so like we have responsibilities. And so guys, like most people, most people in the States, like they get 2 weeks of vacation, stuff like that, and if you're not able to like spend weeks or months at a time on a vacation, and let's say like you could do anywhere between like 3 to 7 days, something like that, I would recommend Cuba for that, because like 3 or 4 days, 4 days, 5 days or whatever, like you get to see a lot, you get to experience a lot, and then you go back to work or school or whatever the case is, what you're doing. So I would definitely recommend that. Like if you don't have a lot of time where you can't get to like Africa, you can't get to different parts of Asia or something like that, but you're trying to vacation and you're trying to spend anywhere between like 3-5 days or what have you, I would recommend Cuba.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me just go through these pictures real quick as I'm learning how to use this system. This is Eula. I think we spoke about it earlier before.
Yeah.
This is the food that we paid $20 a piece with. This was like regular tacos, right? And even though it was, did I get beef or chicken? I can't even tell. But like I said, to me it wasn't
I
up
think
to
you
par.
got chicken.
Yeah, that chicken wasn't slapping like it was supposed to. And like I said, guys, there's limited seasoning, so it's like you can only do salt and pepper so much. That pineapple was cool. That was a pina colada. It tasted okay, all right. But like I said, it's not gourmet. This is us. I don't think King's in this one, but this is us. We took a picture at the what's it called? The Christ Havana.
Yeah, this is
Cristo Rey. Christ the Redeemer.
Christ the
Yeah,
Redeemer.
no,
It's a
I'm
Havana
not
version.
in that specific picture, but I'm in another one like where there's
Oh, you are. I see you in the picture. You're in the back.
Oh well, oh man,
Sure.
well
Yeah,
Man,
he's
I
in the
know.
back with the white shirt.
oh Oh yeah, I am right there. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah.
I'm learning, fellas. I'm learning.
Hey, man, send me that picture. I need to use that for like a thumbnail, man.
Sure. So yeah, this was it's
Hey, side note, man. Like, yo, like, you know, Canal Black Man Travels, like, yo, that his arms in that picture don't do justice. You see him in person, like his arms are like tanks, man.
Yeah, we ain't really trying to. I was trying
Well,
to put these other pictures in here. Let me see. Go ahead.
So, actually, I do got videos of her dancing. I can actually share it.
Please,
that's the video you're
because-
talking about.
And then send it to me, because this chick, every time I see it, she's like, "You guys are hiding my video of me dancing the salsa."
No, I got it. This is the only one that I have right here. Let me show you.
Yeah,
Share
I
my
can
screen.
Stop sharing. Go ahead. Trying to upload these damn pictures.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, let me pull this comment down so it'll be bigger. Oh no, it doesn't even matter. Oh, you have to make it bigger on your end.
You gotta hit that zoom in. That's what I did to get mine to look decent. I didn't want to show two pictures though.
Yeah, that was the only video that I have her dancing. But of course, I got the live band doing their thing.
Oh, so Kanal, man, talk about the women real quick, since you know, give us your talk about the women. I think AD mentioned 8 and he said he didn't see a lot of 8 and 9s. I see a lot of 8.
Oh,
and 9s.
okay, yeah. I was actually
Being
driving when you
curvy.
guys were saying that. Like, this
Yeah.
is me outside the club. Here's the thing. I think we need to stop bringing what we used to see. Like for me, when I went to Thailand, it took me a day to realize, like, okay, I can't expect to see that Brazilian body type, that Colombian body type, that Dominican body type. I'm in Asia. This is what I gotta expect. Cuba's the same way. I kind of agree with you in regards to that neighborhood, that neighbor next door look.
Yeah.
Next door neighbor look. I agree with that. That was an awesome assessment. I think, yeah, the chick just right there next door. She's cute. I mean, she has the essentials, and you're okay with that. She's not jazzed up to the T with the, with the fake eyelashes, long weave, the heavy makeup. She's just like, get out of the bed. I'm gonna look the best that I can, but yet her energy, the smile, just want to have a good time, the pleasant attitude, that puts her above. So that was my experience. It's just easy going, want to have a good time. And again, they just want to be around you and fuck with you, drink whiskey, whatever. Like, hey, let's just have fun. And I kind of like that.
Yep.
So
And
some
of
of
course-
us did some did some photo shoots. So I just want to share just two pictures.
Hold up, this King of Dreams again.
Okay,
Where?
my bad. Let me wait, I gotta stop sharing. Hold up.
Ah.
All right, I'm done.
Hey,
the
but
black.
you know what? You know what? So like, guys, like even if you're not the best salsa dancer, like, just make that attempt. Just make that attempt, man.
Oh yeah, so I'm just showing two pictures I did. I did hire a local photographer. I pay a little bit too much, but I did get, I'm not the most photogenic person, so I got 2 or 3 pictures that I like that I could use, and it's just to show like my experience in Cuba. You know what I mean?
How much did you pay for the photographer?
I paid, I think, $100 US.
Oh wow,
For like two hours, and it came
Oh.
with a short old school car drive. So I got to let's see.
Not bad though.
I got to drive. I didn't get to drive it, but I was driving in it around. So this is the Christ Redeemer is right here. You know what I mean? So that was my experience. I have no regrets. It was good. He knew what he was doing. He took 2 days to send me the high quality images, and it's something I usually do on most of my travels. I try to get a local photographer to kind of like encapsulate what city or country that I visited. So yeah.
That's actually a good point, man. I think I'm gonna have to piggyback off of that using a local photographer because like they they know their country, they know their city, right? So they know like how to shoot people, So that's a good idea, man.
Hmm. Just to answer
Each and every
Dan's
is a pain in the ass, no matter the country.
You know what? I'm actually I'm gonna respond first. I didn't see any. Well, you know what? We are Americans, so there is a preference to that. But we didn't see anyone with any type of attitude problem. We didn't see women
Oh.
fighting with locals or raising their voice or being unpleasant in any way. So I don't think you might have this problem in the Cuban women. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. It's just more
Yeah.
pleasantry. The fact that you're an American, you're gonna stand out, and also too, the Cuban government doesn't play any mess, so people don't want to go to jail for any little stupid thing. So they're gonna be pleasant, nice, whatever. Of course, you're gonna have some asshole here and there, but overall, you're not gonna get that Sasua experience or Clock Tower experience or Medellin or Pocket Jerry's experience. Like, if a girl's gonna hang out with you, dude, it's like a tranquilo vibe, like some chill vibe, like, hey, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And even if she doesn't want to do it, she's gonna reject you very, very pleasantly. It's not gonna be like, a kind of situation where it's gonna be some type of what can I say, negative interaction. Because there's some women who just, they were just out for a good time. They wasn't trying to, communicate or hang out with Americans, and they were pleasant about it too. And we could still talk to them, right after. So keep that in mind too. So I don't think they're gonna have pain in the asses in Cuba. I don't think they can afford to be a pain in the ass either.
Well, that's an excellent point.
Yeah, that's it, man. I mean,
yeah, guys. I think am I have anything else to share? Yeah, I think that's it for me, guys.
All right. Yeah. So, Black Man Travels. What are your final thoughts, man? Your thoughts on this trip, your experience in Cuba. Going there twice.
Yeah, it was second time going after 6 years. Would I go back again? No. I think that was my last trip there. Time for me to move on to greener pastures. Highly recommend it. If you're a traveler, go. If you're a mongerer, go, but just be careful. If you want to try and see something different, go. But I would never, don't go more than 3 days or no more than 4 days. Treat it like a 4-day weekend trip, Thursday to Sunday. Leave Monday morning. Anything beyond that is overkill because trust me, by our third day, we were kind of ready to go. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
I cut my trip short.
Yeah. Trini did that. He was supposed to stay there until Wednesday. He ended up leaving on Monday. So guys, treat it as a weekend trip, 3 days max. Bring enough cash. If your budget is 500, bring 1,000, just in case. You don't need to spend 1,000. Just have it just in case. Expect not to have Wi-Fi 24/7, and just take it all in, man. Sometimes it's good just to shut off the world and just enjoy your travels. And spend a day at the beach, man. Relax, enjoy yourself. Go, learn the history about the country, and come back home. Cuba is not, again. Don't go there thinking that you're gonna get that Colombia experience, that Dominican experience, or Brazilian experience, Costa Rica experience, or whatever country you go to experience. Cuba is Cuba. There's no comparison. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I think the long weekend is a great is a great way to say it. You do like, especially like if it's maybe like a holiday weekend or something like that. Let's say like the holidays like on a Friday or maybe even on a Monday. You get there, you get there Thursday, and then you leave Monday morning. For me, I would say like Wednesday, but only because like depending on where you're traveling from, right? Because like if you're traveling from the north, like your travel time is going to be longer because you likely have a layover. But like if you're in like Miami or in Atlanta or something like that, where like you can get there in like 45 minutes. Yeah, then you could just get to go there on Thursday. So just depending on where you're traveling from, all right? Because like I traveled on Wednesday, and I didn't get to my Airbnb. I had like my flight was at 7 a.m. Then I had a 3-hour layover in Fort Lauderdale. So by the time like I got to my Airbnb, it was like 5:30 p.m. So the whole day was pretty much shot, right? Most of the day was shot right then and there. So that's the only reason why I would recommend Wednesday, depending on where you're coming from. But if you have a short flight, Thursday for sure. Trini, if you talking, you're on mute.
Yeah, my bad. Just to add to that, it is 45 minutes from Miami. Don't be like me. Don't go spend extra in leg room and all type of stuff just for you to literally fly up and then 15 minutes later fly back down and you're landed. So once you can get, I would say, process how far it's going to take from where you live to Miami, and then Miami to Cuba is only 45 minutes. So it can be a really quick, painless trip. I think from Atlanta, it's like maybe like an hour and 20 minutes to Miami from Atlanta, and then 45 minutes to Cuba. And I had an hour and a half layover, so I was there within 3 or 4 hours, easy.
Yeah. So yeah, me like it took me like 8 hours to get there. So and most of my time was the layover because I had like a 3.5 hour layover. So that was the thing. Let me see. Shout out to Travel Lover for the super chat. Says salute. Can you guys explain the problems mongers can run into in Cuba? Thank you guys for your time. Shout out to you, Travel Lover. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I'm about to hop into QB's flexing pan. Yeah, no worries, Artable. Go ahead, do your thing. All right. So to answer your question, who wants to go first? Actually, you know what? Black Man's Travel, since you've been handling the family thing. Why don't you answer this one?
What is the question?
Oh, hold on, let me pull it back up. Can you guys explain the problems that mongers can run into in Cuba?
I mean,
you did kind of open the door for it, so
yeah, I did. I mean, you paying, just keep it under wraps. That's it. It's not Cuba is not a point and shoot type of place. So if you think of Clock Tower or Sosua, it's not like that. So if you are gonna have that type of arrangement, make sure it's done in closed doors. Don't do it publicly, and because again, it's illegal. So that's it. Don't do it in your face type of shit. Just keep it behind closed doors. Because you will get arrested. One thing, guys, you will get arrested. You will get arrested. You get if you get caught using weed, you will get arrested. If you're out there caught using cocaine, you will get arrested. You guys. Cuba is a communist country. So be mindful how you conduct yourself. That's it. If you want to do that type of thing between you and that person, do it between closed doors, man. Right. And regardless, it's not going to cost a lot, man. It's not.
I mean, I think dealing with any local woman in general is a little bit touchy. I think we mentioned about you can't be seen walking together and things like that. Yeah. So regardless of who's entering your Airbnb, regardless of what pretense or arrangement, you do have to provide the ID to the Airbnb. And the Airbnb is then going to supply that person's ID to the Cuban government. So they know everyone that goes in and out your domain. Hotels even worse. So just keep in mind, regardless of when you're inviting even regular people, even everyone that came into even when King came to our Airbnb, I had to supply the ID to the Airbnb hostess. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, man. We've been streaming for about 3 hours, man. Well, first of all, it definitely was a great trip. I appreciate everyone. Appreciate meeting you, Trini. Black Man's Travels, meeting you face to face, meeting Steve, Solo ORD, Adrian. We definitely had a great time out there. Um, I appreciate you all making time to come together and discuss this and put this stream together. I know we had some technical issues, but it's all good, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all. And guys, just take what we say and utilize it. Go to Cuba, we recommend it, but don't be out there too long. I would say, your window is like 3 to 5 days, at the very max 7. But I would say 3 to 5 is that comfortable window, that long weekend.
You know what, Kings? Let them learn the hard way, because I learned the hard way. Black Man Travels told me 3 days max. I didn't listen. I went and booked for 6 days, had a whole other Airbnb that I did not get a refund on. So, and luckily I had my change of flight fee after calling all day. You guys were there. It went from $300 to $20 to get a change of flight fee. They didn't care what story I told. I told them I lost my money. I told them I got robbed. I told them it was a medical emergency. They was like, yeah, you still got to pay. They did not care. So just give you a heads up. So, don't listen. Go book 7 days. Go ahead.
Here's the crazy thing. I
okay, so when
them.
I say 7 days max, I'm thinking of like content creators and stuff.
Not even content creator. Look, I put together an itinerary.
Okay, good. 3 to 5, but that's it. I'm leaving it like
that. Well, actually, I put together an itinerary which Trini saw before we left. 4 days. It was jam packed, and we complete at least 90% of it. So you could do a lot between 3 to 4 days. Anything beyond that, it's just overkill, man.
That's true.
I mean, unless you're gonna take out a trip and go to like Santiago de Cuba or go to another city, then yes, stay longer. But if you stay all 7 days in Havana, that's too much.
That's true. Fair enough. All right, man. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We just hit the 3-hour mark. Guys, please make sure that you subscribe to all of our channels. Salute. Definitely appreciate you all. Peace.